The following is a presentation of Baldwin Sports Live, your home for live coverage of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Baldwin Sports Live is presented by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the brand that sells the land. Learn more at HaydenOutdoors.com. Also brought to you by Farm Bureau Financial Services, Kelly Neufeld, Baldwin State Bank, Codiano State Farm Insurance, Heartland Plumbing, Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home, One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning, Trindle Lumber Company, Oral Surgery Kansas, Hers Incorporated, Rice Precision Manufacturing, The Bullpen, Baldwin City Recreation Commission, New Frontier Tax and Business Services, the Lumberyard Arts Center, Jobats, Baldwin City Community Newspaper, and by the Baldwin City Chamber of Commerce. This is Baldwin Sports Live.
Good evening from Paola, Kansas tonight. You're watching Bulldog basketball on Baldwin Sports Live. It is the pregame show brought to you by the Baldwin State Bank. I'm Bryce Kessler. Glad you're with me tonight as it's just myself. No Ryan Hilmer for us tonight. He actually had to slide over and cover the Paola broadcast for the Panthers tonight. So just myself and all of you tuning in tonight to watch some Bulldog hoops. Glad you're here. Hopefully a good night for the Bulldogs as they are on the road to take on the Paola Panthers. A pair of wins when these two teams met for both the girls and the boys for Baldwin back in the season opener. Now on the road, trying to make it a sweep of the Panthers here in 2023. It's Baldwin and Paola coming up here on Baldwin Sports Live. You're watching the Baldwin State Bank pregame show. More right after this.
At Baldwin State Bank, we love being part of the community we serve. Our roots run deep in Baldwin City, and our commitment runs deeper. Whether it's that dream house you can't wait to call home, or the trust of your personal finances, both present and future, we're here to serve you, our customers, our neighbors. Baldwin State Bank, proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs for more than 100 years and counting. Come see us downtown or online at baldwinstatebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hayden Outdoors Real Estate has proudly been serving the Midwest since 1976, covering 29 states and over $1.3 billion in annual sales. Chad and Penny Sheldon are some of the top producing brokers from Baldwin City, Kansas, selling farms, ranches, rural homes, and recreational real estate throughout Kansas. Their knowledge, passion, and expertise will help make your next real estate transaction an excellent experience. Contact Chad or Penny today by phone at 785-821-2666 or by email at shad@haydenoutdoors.com.
For unbeatable service from a company you can trust, there's only one choice. Clint Davis and the One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning team have the expertise you need when it comes to the comfort of your family. Not only will they get the job done right, but they'll explain the preventative maintenance needed to avoid those costly emergency repairs. To schedule a free quote, call 785-393-9329 and join the Preferred Maintenance Club for special discounts. One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning, the one and only choice for the comfort of your family.
Welcome back to the Baldwin State Bank pregame show. Baldwin and Paola coming up here in game one of our doubleheader tonight. The girls' game, the boys' game will follow. Baldwin girls enter contest tonight, 9-6 overall, coming off of a dominant win. We'll just go with that against Osawatomie on this past Tuesday night. Largest win of the year for Baldwin. They are now 7-0 against sub-500 teams this year as they took care of Osawatomie 60-18. And tonight they get another sub-500 team in the 3-12 Paola Panthers, who lost Friday to Spring Hill 55-28, second straight home loss for the Panthers. They also lost at home to Lewisburg last Tuesday evening 53-37, and Paola has now gone just 1-8 since the start of January. So that's how the teams are looking coming into this one. It is the second matchup of the year between the two. They played back in the season opener on December 2nd. Baldwin winning that game at home 43-36. So the Bulldogs will now look to finish off a sweep of the Panthers here in this 22-23 high school basketball season. The pregame show is brought to you by Baldwin State Bank, personal service from people who care, and that's what you get at your hometown community bank. Baldwin State Bank, whether it's personal finances, business money management, loans and credit, or savings for retirement, go see Baldwin State Bank. For over 120 years, they've helped serve our community. Enjoy a better banking experience with your friends and neighbors at the Baldwin State Bank. We'll take a look at the matchups to watch for the Paola Panthers when we come back. A little scouting report on the opponent here tonight as the Bulldogs go for win number 10 tonight on this season. It's coming up right here on Baldwin Sports Live.
Kelly Neufeld and his team at Farm Bureau Financial Services are there to help you protect what matters most in your life. From insurance plans customized to fit everything you need covered to comprehensive financial planning to help you achieve your goals both present and future. Kelly works uniquely with you face-to-face to gain confidence in your financial well-being. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting with Kelly Neufeld at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Baldwin City. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Trindle Lumber Company is the go-to stop for every do-it-yourselfer and professional contractor. They carry a wide variety of plumbing, electrical, and hardware products, along with a vast selection of windows, doors, and paint. Their full-service drive-through lumber yard has what you need for every project and offers free estimates and professional delivery. At Trindle Lumber Company, you get the right products with the best service. Stop by at 1516 South Main in Ottawa or call 785-242-8144.
Up your lawn care game at Hers Inc. in Spring Hill. We have one of the area's largest and most diverse selections of lawnmowers, including top brands like Altos, Bobcat, Gravely, Dixie Chopper, and Red Max. Quality built machines for any size job. And when you get your mower at Hers, we offer full service and repairs covered by your warranty. From the backyard to the back 40, the all-star lineup of mowers at Hers will make you the captain of the lawn. See the full lineup at hersinc.net. Call 913-247-3530 or just stop on by.
Baldwin State Bank pregame show continues on here from Paola tonight. Baldwin in town to take on the Panthers. As we take a look at the opponent here tonight, the 3-12 Panthers, who have dropped 2 in a row. They've lost 8 of their last 9 ball games since the calendar turned to 2023. They are led by a 5'9" senior, Maggie Kauk, who put up 19 points against the Bulldogs in the first matchup back in that season opener. She had 8 rebounds as well in that contest, so she is certainly the player to watch. She's going to be at the top of that scouting report, no doubt, for the Bulldogs in this game. Really good in the mid-range, very athletic, can jump really well, and that's when, again, you see those rebounding numbers, and 8 of them with 4 offensive rebounds. So, to me, that's the biggest key matchup right there is Kauk and how the Bulldogs defend her. After that, nobody really had a big game against the Bulldogs the first matchup. Maddie Pitzer, another senior, had 7 points, 5 rebounds. Overall, that was one thing that Paola did do really well against the Bulldogs was rebound. They out-rebounded Baldwin by 7. They had 16 offensive rebounds, and we'll dive a little bit more into that number coming up in our State Farm Insurance game plan tonight for the Bulldogs. They'll have to be better, certainly, in that category tonight, but as far as scoring numbers go, Paola only averaging 36.5 points per game this season, and a lot of that comes from Maggie Kauk. So when you talk about matchups, 20 in white tonight, that's the girl that Baldwin will have to be keen on stopping, and she normally wears 13, but they're wearing their pink out jerseys tonight, Paola is, so she's got a different number. Hopefully it won't confuse me tonight. A couple of them, in fact, have different numbers on this evening, but Maggie Kauk, she's the one to watch for this Paola team, who is a pretty experienced team. They have 2 3-year starters, along with Kauk, Ava Kale, another 3-year starter for this Paola team. But they have had a tough go this year, just 3-12, coming off of a 13-9 season a year ago. As for Baldwin, they are going to look to keep the offense hot from their win on Tuesday night when they put up 60 points. That came after back-to-back losses for the Bulldogs, but after the win on Tuesday against Osawatomie, the schedule sets itself up for the Bulldogs to make a nice little run here with Paola tonight. They get 2-13 Royal Valley coming up on Friday night. Then Ottawa, who they've already beaten once this year, next week on Friday. Then Jeff West, who they've already beaten the week after that on Tuesday. And then they end things with a very tough Bonner Springs team. So a chance to put some momentum together here. And it started on Tuesday night with a big win over Osawatomie. They'll look to keep it going tonight against Paola. Our State Farm Insurance game plan for the Bulldogs. That's coming up next. You're watching the Baldwin State Bank pregame show on Baldwin Sports Live.
State Farm Insurance Agent Cody Anno is ready to be there for you every step of the way. From starting policies out to the day disaster strikes, Cody and his team are ready to help. Cody strives to be different, doing things the other people don't and other agencies won't, helping more people in more ways. That's Cody Anno State Farm. Call 785-594-0270 or stop by at 208 Baker Street for a cup of coffee and a free quote for your auto, home, or life insurance with Cody Anno, your local State Farm insurance agent in Baldwin City.
With Heartland Plumbing, you get full-service plumbing from a real plumber, not a sales guy who's just there to fix a leak. Heartland Plumbing sets appointments they hold true to, not an inconvenient block of time they might be there. With a strong reputation and years of quality service, Heartland Plumbing has the tools and the people to get your plumbing job done on time the first time. Give them a call at 913-856-5846. Serving every big town and small town around, residential and commercial. That's Heartland Plumbing, the plumber you can open your door to. Dr. Philip Harvey at Oral Surgery Kansas is a proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Dr. Harvey and his staff wish all of the Bulldogs
Welcome back here to the Baldwin State Bank pregame show. It is time for our game plan tonight. Our keys to the game for the Baldwin girls as they battle the Paola Panthers tonight. Our game plan brought to you by State Farm Insurance Agent Cody Anno. Stop by and have a cup of coffee with Cody, meet the team, and get to know them. They'll get to know you, and they'll figure out a game plan to help protect the things and the people that you value most. Go see Cody Anno at State Farm Insurance, 208 Baker Street in Baldwin, or online, CodyIsMyAgent.com. As we take a look at that game plan for the Bulldogs tonight, must be better on the glass. I mentioned those 16 offensive rebounds that Baldwin gave up in the first matchup. They were fortunate that Paola did not capitalize on those offensive rebounds. They were unable to score much off of that, and that was a big bonus for Baldwin because they certainly gave up a ton of those offensive boards. So have to capitalize or have to be better on the glass in this matchup, and then force some turnovers in this game as well. They only, and I say only, forced 16. That was still a good number, but I feel like this is a team that really needs those turnovers to create the offense. When they're getting those turnovers up in the upper teens into that 20 number, that's when they really thrive. So I'd like to see some more turnovers forced in this game. Bailey Smith, kind of the head of that pressure defense up there at the guards. She's been really good at creating those turnovers, creating bad passes, which open up opportunities for Reichert and Neufeld and Lang to step in and get those interceptions and take it the other way in transition. So better on the glass than that first go-round, force some more turnovers, and hopefully that's a recipe for another Baldwin victory as they were able to win despite those things the first matchup. Tonight, with those things, they could cruise, I think, to another victory, which would be their 10th of the year. That's our game plan brought to you by State Farm Insurance Agent Cody Anno. The opening tip and the starting lineups are coming up next. You've been watching the Baldwin State Bank pregame show for Bulldog basketball on Baldwin Sports Live.
When choosing a bank, wouldn't you prefer doing business with a local institution with years of commitment to our community? That's Baldwin State Bank. For more than 100 years, we've been providing products and services specifically tailored to our friends in Baldwin City. Whether it's a free checking account, savings for retirement, or your next loan, we'll be here. Because our roots are here. Baldwin State Bank, proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Come see us downtown or online at baldwinstatebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home is honored to be your choice when the difficult time comes to plan a lasting tribute for your loved ones. There to guide you through the process from beginning to end with each family's unique traditions and beliefs in mind. Visit lamb-roberts.com to see all of the services offered, including their online pre-planning tool, or call 785-594-3644 to visit with the caring professionals at Baldwin City's only locally owned funeral service and cremation service provider, Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home.
Hayden Outdoors Real Estate has proudly been serving the Midwest since 1976, covering 29 states and over $1.3 billion in annual sales. Chad and Penny Sheldon are some of the top producing brokers from Baldwin City, Kansas, selling farms, ranches, rural homes, and recreational real estate throughout Kansas. Their knowledge, passion, and expertise will help make your next real estate transaction an excellent experience. Contact Chad or Penny today by phone at 785-821-2666 or by email at shad@haydenoutdoors.com.
Welcome back here to Paola High School as we are getting set for the opening tip of this game. And prior to that, it's time for our starting lineups, brought to you by the Lumberyard Arts Center. Baldwin, Marin Frost, Carly Neufeld, Emma Kate Lang, Alyssa Reichert, and Bailey Smith. Your starting five tonight. Neufeld, the top scorer on the team at 13.5 points per game. Reichert leads the team with 6 rebounds per game. Bailey Smith, the team's assist leader, at just over 2 per contest. For the Paola Panthers, it's Foster, Pitzer, Kalk, Kale, and Mead. Kalk is their top offensive weapon and top player overall in that regard. 19 points against the Bulldogs in their first matchup and had 8 of those rebounds and 4 of those offensive boards of the 4 of the 16 that they had against Baldwin the first time around. So it's an experienced group. Kalk, Pitzer, Foster, and Kale, all seniors. Mead, a junior. Jamie Butler, the head coach of the 3-12 Panthers. Eric Tooth, the head coach of the 9-6 Baldwin Bulldogs. And again, the starting lineups are brought to you by the Lumberyard Arts Center. Check out the chocolate auction coming up on Saturday, February 11th. That's only a few days away, so get your tickets. $10 at the Lumberyard Arts or at lumberyardartscenter.org. Chocolate auction for the Youth Scholarship Program. Great event there. Great opportunity to help the Youth Scholarship Program. And, of course, there's all kinds of ongoing opportunities and more at the Lumberyard Arts Center. Check them out online at lumberyardartscenter.org or stop by at 718 High Street in Baldwin. It's time now for the opening tip of this ball game. The Bulldogs in the purple jerseys tonight. Paola not wearing their traditional gold jerseys or the white with gold on them. They got the Paola pink out jerseys on tonight. And the opening tip is brought to you by the Baldwin City Recreation Commission. Soccer registration deadline coming up on February 17th of this month for kindergartners through 8th graders, so don't delay. Get registered now at baldwinrec.org. Micro soccer also registering right now. You get a little longer to get registered for the micro soccer. That is for the little ones, 2 to 4 years old, introducing some basic skills of the game. But don't wait. Get registered for soccer now, baldwinrec.org. Stop by downtown at the offices at the office and get registered as well. Here is Paola on the opening possession of the game. Kale cannot finish, and Marin Frost clears it for Baldwin. So there's one possession and a one and done. Something that plagued Baldwin the first matchup against these two teams, but hoping to be better in that category tonight. Kalk on the rebound of the missed shot by Alyssa Reichert. Kalk looking to go coast to coast. Good athlete, good jumper, good scorer. And she has the first 2 of this game as Paola takes the lead less than a minute into the opening quarter. Frost has Reichert open on the wing. She'll fire the 3. And a rebound by Kale. A couple of field goal attempts already from Reichert, who's the second leading scorer on this Bulldog team, averaging just under 9 points per game. Trailing their leading scorer, Carly Neufeld, who averages just over 13.5. Inside to Kale. And there's another bucket for Paola as the Panthers are out now to a 4-0 lead. Both teams have opened up this game zone defensively. That's a hand check called on Ella Foster. Her first personal foul, and the team's first as well. A 4-0 start for Paola here on their home floor. The Panthers just 3-12 this year. They have lost 8 of 9 since the calendar turned to January. Baldwin coming off of a 42-point win on Tuesday, their largest margin of victory this year in the win over Osawatomie. Neufeld back out onto the wing for Reichert. Across it comes to Frost. Marin's 3 is on the mark, and that's a good sign to start this game as Frost knocks down that tray. She has been a bit streaky this year from beyond the arc. When she's on, she is really on, as witnessed in that second game of the first game of the Top Gun tournament. Knocked down 6 threes in that one against Jeff West. tying the Top Gun tournament record in a single game, but has struggled the last couple from beyond the arc, so nice to see Marin knock down that first look of this one. When they get her and Carly Neufeld both shooting the ball well on any given night, that is tough for the opponent, and there's another one. So Frost has knocked down her first 2 3-point attempts, and Baldwin now takes a 6-4 lead as Bailey Smith creates a turnover in the backcourt and then a foul to compound it on Pitzer. So there is that one-person presser. Bailey Smith so good defensively on ball, really causes havoc for opponents and creates a turnover and pins a foul on Pitzer. Into Lang, up with it, and a foul on Kale, who then falls over top of Lang. It looks like both players are okay. So Kale picks up her first, and it's the third foul now on Paola already in this opening 2+ minutes. It'll put Emma Kate Lang at the line for 2 shots. Lang on the season at this free throw line, 54%, and she knocks down the first. A quick 7-0 run here from Baldwin has the Bulldogs out in front 7-4. Smith again putting that pressure on Pitzer. Kauk now for the wing. Looking inside for Kale. Nearly lost it at the baseline. Reichard cuts her off. Back out it comes to Foster. 3 for the left wing is on the money. We are tied up at 7. You know, they only made 1 3 the first time these two teams play. Baldwin outshot them 6-1 on made threes, so big advantage there. Already a couple of them for the Bulldogs. There's the first from Paola, and now a first Baldwin turnover as Neufeld's entry pass out of the reach of Lang. Tied up at 7, 3 minutes into the opening quarter. This one a rematch from opening night. A 43-36 Baldwin win back on December 2nd. Frost out there defending as they go inside to Kale, and she has her second bucket from in close. Back to a 2-point lead for Paola. Into Lang. Will step through, missed, but put back by Riker, draws a foul. Alyssa with the offensive rebound will earn a trip to the free throw line. Well, foul called here on a 34. I'm going to have to check here. This is one of those that apparently has a different jersey number than I didn't mark the change. Chloe Neufeld will check in for Baldwin. So Audra Downham is the Panther that foul was called on. 9-8 ball game. Paola the lead, the ball, and Kauk with the bucket. Baldwin down 3. Smith. And Bulldogs get bailed out there. Smith's pass, they'll call it a kick ball instead of a turnover. Baldwin will keep it. So that's a break certainly for Baldwin. Carly Toot has checked in now for Baldwin as well. And Chloe Neufeld inbounds it to Toot on the right block. Up with the left hand, spins it in. 11-10. Both teams offensively off to good starts here tonight. Paola only averages 36, a little more than 36 a game. And already 11 for the Panthers. Baldwin about 10 points more per game on average this season. And they're off to a pretty normal start for them about their number here, but a little ahead of pace. There's a jump ball called as Neufeld ties up the ball handler and forces a turnover back over to Baldwin as Marin Frost and Alyssa Reichard both check back in. I think the faster-paced, higher-scoring game will favor Baldwin in the long run, so Eric Toot probably liking the way this game has started out from a pace standpoint. Not necessarily liking that his team's down by one, but Neufeld will try to change that here. The three-pointer misses. And a battle for that rebound. It will stay with Baldwin. Last touch by Kalk. Here is Abby Ediger checking in for Paola. So another opportunity here for Baldwin. Reichard called for a travel as she didn't get that ball put down in time on the takeoff there. 11-10, Paola by one with the basketball. One tie, two lead changes already in this opening quarter. Baldwin at 9-6, Paola 3-12 this season. Foster has to go down to the floor and a timeout. Jamie Butler will try to save a turnover there using a timeout with 3:08 left in this opening quarter. 30-second timeout with Paola leading Baldwin 11-10. Bulldog basketball is presented by Hayden Outdoors here on Baldwin Sports Live. Hayden Outdoors, the brand that sells the land. Chad and Penny Sheldon, natives of Goodland, Kansas, and now your Baldwin City area brokers for the past 10 years, are experts in selling rural homes, farms, ranches, and recreational real estate. They've built several successful businesses. They manage their own farm and a hunting lodge, and they want to use their expertise to help you in finding your dream property or family legacy, or perhaps help you sell your farm, ranch, or recreational property. Call them today at 785-821-2666 or visit HaydenOutdoors.com to learn more. Pressure by Chloe Neufeld. A long time holding the ball. That had to have been getting close to a 5-second call, but Foster now has it, and she's pressured tightly by Frost. Good hands there on a catch by Kale. She's fouled by Toot. Spinning down the paint there and able to make a one-handed catch. Earns a trip to the line as Carly Toot picks up the personal foul, her first and the first team foul on Baldwin with 2:47 left in the opening quarter. Kale at the line. 4 points here in this opening period to start the game for the 5'10 senior. She had 4 points as well in the first matchup to go along with 8 rebounds. Our 5th point there makes it a 2-point lead for Paola. Frost has already knocked down a couple of threes, gives it up here to Reichard. Now Neufeld looking for her first points of the game. Layup rims off, Kalk the rebound. Chloe Neufeld now supplying that pressure in the backcourt with Bailey Smith getting the rest. And those two guards are both very good at keeping constant pressure on the opponent. Hand off to Foster. And she travels. Emma Kate Lang will come back in for Baldwin. Toot will check out. Yasmin Rutledge checks in for the first time here for Paola as well. So Baldwin down 2. They led briefly on a 7-0 run, take a 3-point lead after falling behind 4-0 to start this game. Gave that lead back right away, and now looking to take it once again. Frost 3 a bit strong, but she gets it back at the long rebound. Already 3 offensive rebounds for Baldwin. Trying to capitalize here on a second chance. Frost, good little head fake, steps into a 17-footer and banks it in off the window from straight away. 8 points now from Marin Frost in this first quarter, and we're tied at 12. Well, Frost comes in averaging 7.5 points per game. She has scored in double figures 3 times this season, a season high and career high of 18 against Jeff West. And off to a great start tonight with 8. Turnover at Paola, their 5th of the quarter. Bailey Smith checks back in for Baldwin with 1:23 to play in the period, tied up at 12. Carly Neufeld will exit the Baldwin lineup. The Bulldog leading score has been held scoreless so far in this first period, but Frost helping pick up that slack with an 8-point period. See if they can get the ball back into Marin's hands here. An illegal screen is called on Emma Kate Lang. Eric Toot asking the official what she did wrong. He did not see anything illegal about the screen from Lang, but it is called and costs the Bulldogs a turnover, their 3rd of the game. And this is a foul on Baldwin. It is on Bailey Smith with the reach in. She commits her first and the team's third. 1:12 to go in the quarter, tied up at 12. Kalk wide open on the inbound. Bulldogs just lost her there. Reichert stumbling. And another Baldwin turnover. Back-to-back possessions end in Bulldog turnovers. Carly Neufeld checks back in. So just under a minute left to play in this first quarter. A back and forth start to the game. 2 ties, 2 lead changes, and right now a 2-point lead for the Panthers on their home floor, looking for just their 4th win of the year. Be a big upset if they can pull it off. Straight away, 3-pointer from Rutledge. 17-12 with 39 seconds to go in the quarter. Neufeld gets past Kalk, pulls up, and it rims off. Iron unkind early on for Carly. Pitzer, long outlet, up the floor to Foster. Inside it goes. Kalk misses from close range. It'll stay with Paola off the hand of Neufeld with 16 seconds left. Paola almost halfway to their per-game average on the season here in the opening quarter. Knocked down a pair of threes already. Kalk somehow gets that ball to go through. And it is a 7-point lead, largest of the quarter. Baldwin with a chance to get one final shot up here. 2 seconds left. Chloe to Frost, has to hoist it from way downtown. And after one, it's 19-12. Paola on top of the Bulldogs here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
State Farm Insurance Agent Cody Anno is ready to be there for you every step of the way. From starting policies out to the day disaster strikes, Cody and his team are ready to help. Cody strives to be different, doing things the other people don't and other agencies won't, helping more people in more ways. That's Cody Anno State Farm. Call 785-594-0270 or stop by at 208 Baker Street for a cup of coffee and a free quote for your auto, home, or life insurance with Cody Anno, your local State Farm insurance agent in Baldwin City.
Trindle Lumber Company is the go-to stop for every do-it-yourselfer and professional contractor. They carry a wide variety of plumbing, electrical, and hardware products, along with a vast selection of windows, doors, and paint. Their full-service drive-through lumber yard has what you need for every project and offers free estimates and professional delivery. At Trindle Lumber Company, you get the right products with the best service. Stop by at 1516 South Main in Ottawa or call 785-242-8144.
Start of the second quarter here in Paola, and a bit of a surprise on that scoreboard, 19-12. Paola with the lead. Baldwin didn't play poorly necessarily offensively in that first half. They're hitting right about their numbers, but Paola played exceptionally well offensively in that first half. They are already over halfway to their per-game scoring average for the year per game, as that foul is called on Carly Neufeld, her first, team's 4th. So a 19-point first quarter for the Panthers. Averaged 36 points a game this year. 8 from their leader, Maggie Kalk. A couple of threes as well from Foster and Rutledge. Kale with 5 inside. Good start for the Panthers. There's a jump ball, and Baldwin will get it back. 6th turnover by Paola. Well, let's see if Baldwin can start closing the gap here. 2 ties, 2 lead changes in that first half. The 7-point lead right now for Paola is their largest. They're on a 7-0 run going back to that first quarter. And I just realized that our camera operator has abandoned us, so we didn't have a camera going there. Reichert, 2 for the Bulldogs, so that ends that 7-0 run. Kalk looking for the quick answer on the other side, deflected out of bounds by Reichert. We're splitting the camera feed tonight, so didn't realize that we had lost a cam op there for a bit. Kalk for 3. Frost the rebound. We're using the Paola crew tonight on the camera operations. This ball is bounced inside by Reichert and turned over. 5 turnovers now for Baldwin. Bulldogs down 19-14. Calc, a game high, or a team high, I should say, 8. Matches Frost with a game high right now. Gives it up to Foster. Foster cut off by Smith. They've got her doubled. Finds the open player, Pitzer. And now she gets herself into trouble and turns it over. Frost pushes it up for Reichert. Crosses into the paint and draws the foul. A couple of free throws coming up for Alyssa. As Baldwin looks to continue to chip away here at the deficit. Baldwin Sports Live brought to you by the Bullpen in downtown Baldwin City. And the Bullpen, not only they welcome you to come down there for the big game this weekend, but they also will invite you over to the Nook at 703 8th Street for the big game brunch on Sunday. Starts at 10 a.m., 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Nook, 703 8th Street. Get some tasty eats at the Nook. And the big game brunch coming up. And while you're there, you can sign up at the Baldwin City Community Newspaper as well. Just $5 a month to subscribe to your local weekly newspaper. Ask about it down at the Nook. A couple of free throws there from Reichert. And Baldwin has closed the gap down to 3 after trailing by 7 to start this quarter. Carly, too, gets the matchup right now with Calc. That's the matchup to watch, trying to limit her touches. Rutledge to Ediger, and around it comes to Downham. Three-pointer off the heel. Put back by Ediger, and she's fouled by 2. Carly just picked up her second. And it will send Abby Ediger to the free throw line. 2 shots coming up for her with 6 minutes to play in this first half. And Paola on top, 19-16. Baldwin had a 7-point win over the Panthers to open up the season. Bulldogs in that game only had 10 steals, and I say only, which 10 sounds like a decent enough number for you, but they only had 10 steals, which is their second fewest in a win this year. So they were not able to create as much turnovers as they would have liked to, which is part of the reason that kept that game as close as it did. Wicker on the rebound for Paola. Panthers leading by 5. And so far tonight, there's been 7 Paola turnovers, and there's the 8th. But most of them have been dead ball turnovers like that. They've had a handful of travels, a couple of tie-ups that have resulted in change of possession, a couple of throwaways that have gone out of bounds. So those, while still not good, you still don't want to turn the ball over, certainly, if you're an offense. But turning it over in a dead ball situation at least allows you to set up your defense and defend rather than those live ball steals, which create easy opportunities for the opponent. So that's what Baldwin has not been able to create tonight. They weren't really able to create those the first time this year against Paola. And now Reichert is called for a travel for Baldwin's 6th turnover of the game. And back in comes Rutledge. A 5-point lead for Paola. Full court pressure by Baldwin. Calc brings it into the front court. Underneath Rutledge, and she travels. So once again, dead ball turnover, but it is their 9th now. Marin Frost back in for Baldwin, leading the team with 8 points so far tonight. 5 minutes to go in this first half. Baldwin is trailed by as many as 7. Their largest lead has been 3. And that is a carry called on Chloe Neufeld. A little hesitation as she came across the top of the key there. And she gets called for the turnover as both teams are piling up the turnovers here in this second quarter now. Last few possessions of both for both teams have resulted in turnovers. Calc will initiate the offense with Reichert picking her up. 8 first quarter points for Calc. Gets down to the block, it scores. Well, that's just too easy right there, allowing Calc to really go unabated down to that block for the easy bucket. 7-point lead once again. Three come off of that on the three by Reichert. Second assist for Neufeld, who's getting involved offensively but is yet to score after Frost stole it on the inbound. They give it back. Offensive foul on Maggie Kauk. Alyssa Reichert able to draw that charge. It's Kauk's first. Number 6 on Paola, and their 11th turnover. Timeout taken by Baldwin. 4:11 left to go in this first half, and it's a 4-point game, 23-19, with Paola on top here on their home floor. They've led through the majority of this first half of action. Bulldog basketball brought to you in part by Rice Precision Manufacturing, who is looking to add great employees to their great staff. Great jobs with growing family-owned company right there in Baldwin City at Rice Precision Manufacturing. CNC machinists, CNC operators, they're looking for them all. Excellent pay, competitive benefit packages, a climate-controlled work environment, and a friendly support staff dedicated to the betterment of their employees. Send an email to jobs@riceprecision.com to schedule an interview. 4:11 to go in this first half, and it's a 4-point Paola lead. I have a change on the roster, number 22 for Paola, who has been in this ball game for them. It's Ellie Smale, a freshman, and it is not Yasmin Rutledge, who was listed on the roster as 22, but it's a freshman, Ellie Smale, instead, who's knocked down that three earlier. Has played some big minutes early in this game. Freshman for Paola. Foul and the bucket counts. Alyssa Reichert now with 10 here in the first half, and a chance at a three-point play. Coming off that three-pointer a moment ago for the Bulldogs that took the 7-point gap down to 4, and now has a chance to trim it all the way back down to 1 with this free throw. Carly Neufeld checks out of the game for Baldwin, and the free throw by Reichert is good, so a 11-point first half from Alyssa. It's a 1-point game with 3:43 to go in the half. 11 from Reichert and 8 from Frost. That 19-point combination has helped keep the Bulldogs right here with Paola, who has had a good offensive game of their own. That's all without their top scorer, Carly Neufeld, being held to 0 points so far. Kauk checks back in for Paola. She has 10 to lead the way for the Panthers. Pitzer outside to Hazel Downham. Now Kauk working for the high post. Reverses it back out to Smale, and she travels. A Baldwin opportunity to take the lead back now. Have trailed by 7 on 2 different occasions. Only led for one moment of this game at 7-4 or 6-4, and then turned into 7-4. That's been it. Chance to get the lead here. Lang inside, and she does put the Bulldogs on top. 24-23, an 8-0 run by Baldwin. Pitzer is trapped. A chance to create a turnover here, and it's knocked free by Reichert. So there's the live ball turnovers that Baldwin loves to create. A chance in transition. Back up top to Frost. High arcing three is short. Long rebound out to Ediger. Downham. Out to Kauk. Reichert matching her up. Cuts her off as she tried to go baseline. Bounce inside to Ediger, and from behind she's fouled by Lang, who picks up her second and the team's 6th. Nope, check that, the team's 7th. So it will result in the 1-and-1 here for Ediger. Carly Neufeld and Carly Toot check back in for Baldwin. Audra Downham checks back into the game for the Panthers. 1-and-1 for Ediger. And she is now 3 out of 3 at the free throw line in this game. Ties the game at 24 all. And gives Paola the lead back at 25-24. Neufeld looking for her first basket and rattles in a three. Bulldogs take the lead back at 27-25. Neufeld had a couple of shots, just barely missed. Rim out a couple of times already, but finally dials that one up for Baldwin. Kalk for the answer, and she hits it. The lead goes back to Paola at 28-27. 13-point first half for Maggie Kalk. Panthers getting a big offensive night. Their season high for points is a bit misleading as that number is 70. They put that number up against Wellsville. 3 misses out of the corner from Toot. Back comes Maggie Kalk. But outside of that game when they put up 70 and there's a turnover, they're 14th of this first half. Outside of the 70-point game, they've only scored over 40 3 times. They have been held under 40 points in all but 4 games this year. And those 4 that they were able to go over that mark, 3 of those are their victories, and the other one was a 56-51 loss to Eudora. But they're on pace tonight to go well over that 40-point mark. Don't think they'll get to the 70-point mark, which is their season high, but again, outside of that one kind of outlier game, they very well could put up a season high minus that one game. This is a foul on Audra Downham that puts Carly Neufeld at the free throw line. 1-1 for Baldwin with 1:22 left to go in the half. Baldwin cannot take advantage of that 1-1 opportunity. Kalk back the other way. Paola with a 1-point lead. They have Kalk triple teamed right now. Able to throw that one across the court, but she throws it out of bounds. So not usually the recommended defense is to spin 3 of your players to guard 1, but it works out right there. And they do indeed force the turnover. And now with just over a minute to go in the half, Baldwin has it back down by 1. 3 ties, 6 lead changes so far in this game. Neufeld, nice spin to get around the defender, and then she is fouled by Pitzer, who thought she had made a clean defensive play, but Neufeld ended up on the floor, and she'll end up at the free throw line after the nice spin move to get past Downham off the dribble. 2-shot foul this time for Neufeld after she had just missed the front end of a 1-1. First of 2 shots this time is good. Neufeld, the top free throw shooter on the team at 76% this year. Unable to give Baldwin the lead, but she has tied the game up. A double on Pitzer now. Downham across to Fuller. Inside to Couch, stripped on the way up. Baldwin creates another turnover. Neufeld takes a look up at the clock. Still has plenty of time here. Tied at 28, closing 30 seconds of the first half. Baldwin, I believe, will hold for the final shot here unless something happens with a big defensive breakdown. And despite trailing for the majority of this first half, Baldwin has a chance here to take the lead into the locker room. If they can come up with a bucket in this final 10 seconds now. Neufeld gets a screen from 2, kicks it to Frost in the corner, and Marin Frost splashes in a third, triple of the first half for her. 11 first half points for Frost, and that 3 gives Baldwin the lead, 31-28 at the break. Coming up next, it's the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show right after this on Baldwin Sports Live.
Kelly Neufeld and his team at Farm Bureau Financial Services are there to help you protect what matters most in your life. From insurance plans customized to fit everything you need covered to comprehensive financial planning to help you achieve your goals both present and future. Kelly works uniquely with you face-to-face to gain confidence in your financial well-being. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting with Kelly Neufeld at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Baldwin City. It's your future. Let's protect it. With Heartland Plumbing, you get full-service plumbing from a real plumber, not a sales guy who's just there to fix a leak. Heartland Plumbing sets appointments they hold true to, not an inconvenient block of time they might be there. With a strong reputation and years of quality service, Heartland Plumbing has the tools and the people to get your plumbing job done on time the first time. Give them a call at 913-856-5846. Serving every big town and small town around, residential and commercial. That's Heartland Plumbing, the plumber you can open your door to.
Hayden Outdoors Real Estate has proudly been serving the Midwest since 1976, covering 29 states and over $1.3 billion in annual sales. Chad and Penny Sheldon are some of the top producing brokers from Baldwin City, Kansas, selling farms, ranches, rural homes, and recreational real estate throughout Kansas. Their knowledge, passion, and expertise will help make your next real estate transaction an excellent experience. Contact Chad or Penny today by phone at 785-821-2666 or by email at shad@haydenoutdoors.com.
Welcome to the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show from Paola tonight. 31-28. Baldwin on top by 3 here at the break. Kelly Neufeld is there to help you protect what matters most with Farm Bureau. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting and see how Kelly Neufeld and his team can help you achieve your financial goals, both present and future, with Farm Bureau Financial Services. A 3-point halftime lead after the Bulldogs trailed for the majority of that first half. They had an early 7-4 lead on a 7-0 run by Baldwin after they fell behind 4-0 out of the gates, gave them their one and only lead of the first quarter. They were then down by 7 going into the second quarter at 19-12. A 4-0 spurt to start that second quarter closed the gap back to a single possession at 19-16, but then a 4-0 run back from Paola made it a 7-point game again at 23-16. Baldwin then went on an 8-0 run to retake the lead at 24-23, their first lead since that 6-4 advantage early in the first quarter. And then it would switch hands multiple times in the final 3 minutes. Paola going up 1, Baldwin back up by 2, then Paola by 1, and then Baldwin at the buzzer more or less with just a couple of seconds left there in the first half. Got a big 3 from Marin Frost, her third three-pointer of that first half to give Baldwin the halftime lead, 31-28. Overall, 4 ties and 7 lead changes in that first 16 minutes of basketball tonight. Both teams kind of caught the turnover bug in that second quarter. Baldwin seemed to corral theirs a little bit sooner. They ended up with just 4 second quarter turnovers, 8 for the half, while Paola, they tallied up 11 second quarter turnovers, 16 overall in that first half, which allowed Baldwin to outscore Paola 19-9 in that second quarter and turn a 7-point deficit into a 3-point lead as we head into the second half. So 31-28, Baldwin on top here at the break. Coming up after this word from Farm Bureau, we'll check the numbers with New Frontier Tax and Business Services. But first, a word from our halftime sponsor, Farm Bureau Financial Services.
Kelly Neufeld and his team at Farm Bureau Financial Services are there to help you protect what matters most in your life. From insurance plans customized to fit everything you need covered to comprehensive financial planning to help you achieve your goals both present and future. Kelly works uniquely with you face-to-face to gain confidence in your financial well-being. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting with Kelly Neufeld at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Baldwin City. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Let's check the numbers now. It is a 31-28 game here at the half on the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show. Baldwin with the 3-point lead. The numbers are brought to you by New Frontier Tax and Business Services at 608 High Street in Baldwin City. They'll help you confidently tackle tax season this year with timely, accurate, and reliable services at an affordable cost to help your business grow and succeed. Learn more at newfrontiertds.com. Paola will start with the Panthers. 16 turnovers. I think that's the biggest number that jumps off on the sheet for them in that first half. That really allowed Baldwin back in that second quarter after they had the Bulldogs down by 7, but then they just started piling up the turnovers and ended up with 16 of them. They shot free throws well, went 5 of 6 there, and knocked down 3 3-pointers, which is 2 more than they made in the first matchup with Baldwin this year. Maggie Kauk, no surprise, leading the way for the Panthers, 13 first half points. She had a game high 19 in the first matchup between these two teams this year, and she had 13 in this first half. And outside of that, it was a balanced attack to help her. 3 from Ella Foster, 4 from Abby Ediger, 3 from Ellie Smale, 5 from Ava Kale to round out the Panthers scoring. As for the Bulldogs, there, I guess one more number there on that Paola side. In the first half, 2 offensive rebounds. So a much better job there after Baldwin gave up 16 offensive rebounds to the Panthers in their first matchup. Granted, Paola's shooting the ball much better in this one. They missed a lot of shots in that first game, which allowed for more offensive rebound opportunities. But nevertheless, Bulldogs doing a better job in that regard. As for the Bulldogs' first half numbers, 2 of them in double figures, both Marin Frost and Alyssa Reichard with 11 first half points. For Reichard, it is her 7th time this year in double figures. And for Frost, it's the 4th time for her. And now back-to-back games for Frost after a double-digit scoring effort against Osawatomie in the last outing for the Bulldogs. So 11 first half points from Frost. She knocked down 3 threes as well. Reichard connecting from downtown once as well and went 4 out of 5 at the free throw line. Just 4 points from Carly Neufeld. She only made 1 shot, a three-pointer, as Paola was able to keep her in check. That 1-3 and then 1 of 3 at the free throw line. But good news for the Bulldogs is Frost and Reichard, their 2nd and 3rd leading scorer on the year, helping to pick up the offense with their leading scorer being held to just 4 points. Emma Kate Lang had 3. Carly Toot added 2 for the Bulldogs, who lead this game at the break 31-28, despite trailing by as many as 7 points on 2 different occasions in that first half. The 3-point lead right now, that ties the Bulldogs' largest lead of this game. We'll see if they can continue to do what that second half offered them, and that was turning the Panthers over and creating some opportunities on the offensive end as Frost and Reichard continue to lead the way with 11 apiece. 31-28, that's our halftime score. You have been watching the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show. Kelly Neufeld is your local agent there to offer you personal service to help support you in your financial future, whether that's the insurance, the investments, whatever the case may be when it comes to your financial future. Farm Bureau Financial Services is there to help you. And give Kelly a call at 785-594-1055. Proud supporters of the Baldwin Bulldogs here on Baldwin Sports Live. Farm Bureau, it's your future. Let's protect it. Second half starts next. It's 31-28, Baldwin by 3 here at the break on Baldwin Sports Live from Paola tonight.
For unbeatable service from a company you can trust, there's only one choice. Clint Davis and the One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning team have the expertise you need when it comes to the comfort of your family. Not only will they get the job done right, but they'll explain the preventative maintenance needed to avoid those costly emergency repairs. To schedule a free quote, call 785-393-9329 and join the Preferred Maintenance Club for special discounts. One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning, the one and only choice for the comfort of your family.
Up your lawn care game at Hers Inc. in Spring Hill. We have one of the area's largest and most diverse selections of lawnmowers, including top brands like Altos, Bobcat, Gravely, Dixie Chopper, and Red Max. Quality built machines for any size job. And when you get your mower at Hers, we offer full service and repairs covered by your warranty. From the backyard to the back 40, the all-star lineup of mowers at Hers will make you the captain of the lawn. See the full lineup at hersinc.net. Call 913-247-3530 or just stop on by.
We are off to the second half here in Paola tonight. 31-28, Baldwin on top of the Paola Panthers as we take a look here at our upcoming broadcast schedule on Baldwin Sports Live. And we've got another game coming up on Friday night. It's the road trip right now for the Bulldogs. 4 consecutive road games starting tonight with this one, and then Friday at Royal Valley. Next Friday at Ottawa. They get the Tuesday off next week, but they'll be at Ottawa a week from Friday, and then the week after that on that Tuesday, February 21st at Jefferson West. So a little road swing here for Bulldog basketball. You can check out our upcoming broadcast schedule in the Baldwin City Community News. Subscribe for just $5 a month. Subscribe at the Nook, downtown Baldwin City. Stop in and subscribe to your local newspaper. Get all the latest news, sports, opinions, feature stories, community events. Stay up to date with our broadcast schedule. What's not to love about that for just $5 a month? Again, you can subscribe at the Nook to the Baldwin City Community Newspaper. Paola with the ball to start this second half. Pitzer, Kale. Downham will start this second half for the Panthers, along with Kauk, who is now in a different jersey, in Ella Foster. And that is a travel on Ava Kale. So Kauk is now wearing 32. She's normally number 13. She was wearing number 20 tonight with pink out jerseys, and now comes out in the second half wearing number 32. Must have had some blood or something on that number 20 jersey. Lang unable to finish in close, but a good effort by Alyssa Reichard keeps the possession alive with the offensive rebound. Missed three by Neufeld. Another good effort by Reichard, but this one ends up tapped to Kale. And Paola, despite giving up the second chance, gets the stop. It's a 3-point Baldwin lead. Pitzer bounces high post to Kale. 15-footer rims off. Rebounded by Lang. Baldwin had a 19-9 advantage in the second quarter after trailing by 7 to enter that second quarter. See if they can continue to pull away here in this second half now and pick up their 10th win of the year and their second of the year against Paola. Inside to Lang once again. This time she's fouled on the shot attempt by Ava Kale, who picks up her second foul and will bring Lang to the line for 2 shots. Baldwin 7 out of 10 in the first half at the free throw line. So a respectable number there. They are only a 59% free throw shooting team this year, so you'll certainly take 70%. And Lang knocks down another one. 4 points now in this game for Emma Kate Lang. Has given Baldwin their largest lead of this game now at 4 points. And Lang able to extend that to 5. No token pressure here on Paola, who barely gets that ball across in time. Took about 9.5 seconds to get that ball across, but they just do avoid the 10-second call. Now Foster trying to get that ball into the post. Skip pass across. Downham drives in and draws the foul on Reichard. Now check that. Pitzer was the ball handler there. A foul nonetheless on Alyssa, her team's first of the half. And it puts Pitzer at the line for the first time tonight. The Panthers have also shot their free throws well this evening. 5 out of 6, make them 6 out of 7 now. That was an area that both teams struggled mightily in the first matchup this year. Paola went 13 of 25. Baldwin went just 11 of 30 at the free throw line when these two teams met back in the season opener on December 2nd. But free throw issues have been ironed out tonight, certainly. Baldwin 9 of 12, Paola 7 out of 8. It's a 3-point game. Neufeld counted for Carly in a 3-point opportunity. So Neufeld continuing to attack despite the fact that they have held her in check in this game, but now 6 points and a chance to add a free throw to it. The foul is called on Brylan Wicker, her first. Second team foul, and Neufeld indeed converts the 3-point play. 36-30 Baldwin lead. Marin Frost checks out. Chloe Neufeld comes in. Kale re-enters for Paola, and out goes Wicker. So already the second and third leading scorers of the year in double figures for Baldwin tonight. Neufeld is a bucket away from joining them. Baldwin could get those top 3 scorers all into double figures on any given night. They're going to be a tough team to beat, and Paola doing their best job to stay with them. They've gotten a big night out of Maggie Kauk and some timely shots from some of their bench players, but trailing by 6 right now are the Panthers. That foul is called on Emma Kate Lang on that entry pass to the post. So Lang picks up her third. She'll check out. Carly Toot comes back in for her. And that is a travel called on Downham. And Kale is injured here for Paola. Did not see what happened. It was apparently something off ball. So Kale will gingerly walk off the court. She's replaced by Wicker. The Panthers down one of their senior starters now and their primary post player in Ava Kale. Pitzer rejects the layup attempt by Neufeld, who hustles back behind Kauk to knock it free, but it will stay with Paola. Abby Ediger checks in, replacing Downham. 5:51 to go in the third. Baldwin on top 36-30, largest lead of the game for Baldwin. They trail by as many as 7, now lead by 6. Timeout, Paola. Bailey Smith once again putting on the pressure there. Forces the timeout to be taken by Jamie Butler. And with Baldwin leading 36-30, we'll be right back here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
For unbeatable service from a company you can trust, there's only one choice. Clint Davis and the One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning team have the expertise you need when it comes to the comfort of your family. Not only will they get the job done right, but they'll explain the preventative maintenance needed to avoid those costly emergency repairs. To schedule a free quote, call 785-393-9329 and join the Preferred Maintenance Club for special discounts. One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning, the one and only choice for the comfort of your family.
36-30 our score here in Paola tonight. And it is a Baldwin lead in this third quarter after the Bulldogs trailed 19-12 at the end of the first quarter, but they have since outscored Paola 24-11. 4 ties, 7 lead changes back in the first half of this game. Baldwin led by 3 to start this second half, and they're hoping that we don't have any more of those ties or lead changes the rest of the way. But still a ways to go. 13 and a half minutes to play in this one. Ediger works off a Wicker screen. Nothing comes of that as she terminated her dribble after just one bounce. Now it's knocked free by Smith. A race into the backcourt to retrieve it, and Pitzer comes up with it for Paola. Now they have Pitzer trapped. And stepping in front again, Bailey Smith almost coming up with that steal. May have got popped in the nose. Tremendous effort right there, but unfortunately it goes unrewarded in terms of the basketball sense of it, with she ends up picking up a foul, but certainly not unnoticed. 18 turnovers in this game for Paola, and now 19. Toot with a steal, gets it up to Bailey Smith, has Neufeld out on the wing, 3-pointer on the way, and it's right through the bottom of the cup from Carly Neufeld. 10 points now from Carly. All 3 of the top scorers for Baldwin in double figures now, and it is a 39-30 lead. Quickly, Paola transitions back the other way, but Kauk misses the layup. Neufeld gets the rebound, and she is fouled by Foster, who was riding her up that far sideline. Now things starting to snowball away from Paola right now. They are down by 9. Baldwin has the ball back. A chance to make this a double-digit lead now. And Carly Neufeld heating up for the Bulldogs, up to 10 points now to join Frost and Reichert, who both have 11 in double figures. Neufeld off of one, bounce, fires up a 3. Ava Kale, who had gone off with a, looked like an ankle injury maybe earlier, is back in there, and she has the rebound for Paola. Going underneath for Kauk, knocked away and saved by Reichert. Good effort again. Up to Neufeld. And a blocking foul on Pitzer, who picks up her 3rd. Well, Baldwin starting to feel that momentum shift their way, and if they could score here, it'd put the lead up to double figures, which would be a nice kind of benchmark to hit, and they'll have a chance to do that at the free throw line as Neufeld gets fouled by Foster, and she now picks up her 3rd. 2 free throws coming up for Neufeld. Just 2 out of 4 tonight at the free throw line, but on the year at 76% is certainly the girl you want at the line if you're Baldwin. And it is now a 10-point Bulldog lead with 4:11 to go in the third. Audrey Downham and Abby Ediger check back into the game for Paola. Pitzer and Foster go down, the 2 players who each have 3. And another turnover. That is number 21 in this game for Paola. And the Baldwin Bulldogs will have a chance to continue to extend what is a 10-2 run to start this second half. Neufeld on the drive and the scoop. Count clears it. Going back to now another turnover. Reichert with the interception. And she's fouled by Kalk. 2 free throws coming up for Alyssa Reichert as Kalk picks up her second and the team's 6th. Now going back to when Baldwin trailed by 7 there midway through the second quarter. It was an exact halfway point of the second quarter. They trailed 23-16. But they have really taken control since that point. That one spins in as well, and it's now a 27-7 run going back to that moment. And really that was also the point in time when the turnovers just started piling up at a really quick rate for Paola. They had 11 turnovers in that second quarter, and they've already added another 6 of them in this third quarter. It's now a 13-point Baldwin lead, and add another to that tally of Paola turnovers. Their 23rd of the game. Baldwin, meanwhile, just 8 turnovers tonight. As Carly Neufeld checks back in for Baldwin, Ediger and Wicker check back in for Paola. So the first game this year, Paola had 16 turnovers, but Baldwin gave it back 15 times to kind of cancel it out. Baldwin taking care of the basketball tonight, just 8 turnovers, and that is not allowing Paola to get away with their turnover troubles now. And they have found themselves digging a deeper hole, down 13 now. Reichert relocate, give back to Neufeld. 3 is short, but Chloe Neufeld is right there to have it fall in her lap. Kalk blocks the shot by Chloe, and back come the Panthers. They have not made a field goal in this second half yet. Scored a couple of free throws from Pitzer, but that's it. And instead, they just continued to pile up the turnovers. Smith up top to Chloe Neufeld, swings it around to Frost. He's had a hot hand tonight, misses the 3, but it is not going to go out of bounds. Saved, and then a foul on Neufeld as she bumped into Kalk. So Chloe picks up the foul. It looked like that ball was initially going to go out of bounds, but Kalk able to save it. And Paola will have it with 2:40 to go in the third, down by 13. Fuller, Foster, and Pitzer all check back in for Paola. And Toot checks back in for Baldwin. Fuller bringing it up the near sideline. Now Pitzer into the corner for Foster. Airballed 3 off of Fuller. Baldwin basketball with 2:24 to go in the third, up by 13. Yet to give up a field goal in this second half. And now a timeout taken by Baldwin. Bulldogs lead by 13 with 2:24 left to play in the third. Bulldog basketball is presented by Hayden Outdoors. They are the brand that sells the land, and they can help you do that. Chad and Penny Shelton, natives of Goodland, Kansas, now your Baldwin City area brokers. They've been here for the past 10 years or so, and they are experts in selling rural homes, farms, ranch, and recreational real estate. Check out more at HaydenOutdoors.com to check out the brand and find how you can contact Shad and Penny Sheldon. You can do that via email, shad@HaydenOutdoors.com or penny@HaydenOutdoors.com, or give Shad a call at 785-821-2666 if you're in the market to buy or sell a farm, ranch, recreational property, or rural home. They've got you covered. Presenting sponsors of Bulldog basketball here on Baldwin Sports Live, and the Bulldogs right now in the midst of a 27-7 run going back to the midway point of the second quarter. When they were down 7, they have turned that into a 13-point lead. Frost for 3, and that's short, rebounded by Ediger. Knocked out of bounds by Smith. Paola got off to a red-hot start in this game. They scored 19 points in the first quarter. They only average a little over 36 points per game. But they have come back down to earth a little bit offensively, just 11 points in a quarter plus, nearing the 2 full quarters mark since that point. Pitzer. Kale posting underneath, but unable to get the ball into her, and now Jamie Butler will take it to the timeout for Paola. We'll step aside with a minute 48 left in the third. Baldwin leading 43-30 here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
State Farm Insurance agent Cody Anno is ready to be there for you every step of the way. From starting policies out to the day disaster strikes, Cody and his team are ready to help. Cody strives to be different, doing things the other people don't and other agencies won't, helping more people in more ways. That's Cody Anno State Farm. Call 785-594-0270 or stop by at 208 Baker Street for a cup of coffee and a free quote for your auto, home, or life insurance with Cody Anno, your local State Farm insurance agent in Baldwin City.
$13-point Baldwin lead here on the road, taking on the Paola Panthers, and feel like a good time to bring back our State Farm Insurance game plan for you. We talked about it in the open. Be better on the glass in this game and force some turnovers, and Baldwin has done both of those things well tonight. Part of the reason they are up by 13 here in this second half. 24 turnovers forced by the Baldwin defense. And as far as that rebounding number goes, they gave up 16 offensive rebounds the first time these two teams played. They have given up 2 so far tonight only. Inside to Calc. Doubled. Shoots over top of the double team, and Fuller able to grab an offensive rebound there. So, of course, as I bring it up, they give one up, but it won't cost them as the three-pointer is missed out of the corner by Pitzer, and Carly Neufeld brings it back the other way for the Bulldogs. Carly with 12 points, one of 3 double-digit scores tonight. Reichert has 13 to lead the way, and Marin Frost with 11. Those are the top 3 scorers per game on the year for Baldwin, and they have all shown up tonight at differing times, really. It was Frost who was the top scorer in the first quarter, and here's Marin going to the free throw line after that foul. 7th team foul on Paola. This one a shooting foul will put Marin Frost at the free throw line for 2 shots, but Frost scored 8 of her 11 in the first quarter. Reichert then scored 10 of her 13 in the second quarter, and Neufeld has scored 8 of her 12 here in the third quarter. So they've all just kind of taken turns tonight propelling this Bulldog offense. A 1 out of 2 from Frost makes it a 44-30 game with a minute to go in the third quarter. Fuller can't get the baseline. Now able to hand it to Calc, and she lost it for turnover number 25 for Paola. Final minute of this period. Baldwin has not given up a field goal in this third quarter. 2 free throws from Paola's Maddie Pitzer. That's the only scoring of the quarter for Paola. Well, Baldwin certainly content to just hold it now and play out this final 30 seconds for the final shot. And now they may not have that chance, but they will have a chance to score because Ella Foster commits the foul, and that will put Carly Neufeld at the line for a 1-and-1. 12 points tonight, a couple of assists, a couple of rebounds as well for Carly Neufeld. Lauren Berg checks in for the first time tonight for Baldwin. Brylan Wickert returns to the action for Paola. All right, check that. It's not 34, it's 14. Peyton Williams who has checked in for the first time. One out of 2 at the line, and a travel on Paola. Well, that one, unfortunately for the Panthers, it is a turnover, but that has not been what has really hurt them. That was just kind of an unfortunate turnover, but it's just kind of salt in the wound tonight for Paola, who's just had an awfully tough time taking possession of the ball. This is Reichert on the turnaround. Berg battling for the board. It's Foster who comes up with it. Gets it to Kale with 17 seconds to go. Downham with 8 seconds. Gets it out to Williams, who is fresh off the bench into this game. Missed the three, Frost the rebound, and that will send us to the fourth quarter. Baldwin holds Paola without a field goal in that third, and the Bulldogs outscore them 14-2 to take a 15-point lead into the fourth quarter here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
At Baldwin State Bank, we love being part of the community we serve. Our roots run deep in Baldwin City, and our commitment runs deeper. Whether it's that dream house you can't wait to call home, or the trust of your personal finances, both present and future, we're here to serve you, our customers, our neighbors. Baldwin State Bank, proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs for more than 100 years and counting. Come see us downtown or online at baldwinstatebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home is honored to be your choice when the difficult time comes to plan a lasting tribute for your loved ones. There to guide you through the process from beginning to end with each family's unique traditions and beliefs in mind. Visit lamb-roberts.com to see all of the services offered, including their online pre-planning tool, or call 785-594-3644 to visit with the caring professionals at Baldwin City's only locally owned funeral service and cremation service provider, Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home.
$15-point Baldwin lead as we start the fourth quarter. The Bulldogs have the basketball as well. 3 in double figures tonight, led by Reichert and Neufeld with 13 apiece, Frost with a dozen. And the Bulldogs, after trailing 19-12 at the end of the first quarter, have outscored Paola 33-11 since, including a 14-2 advantage in that third quarter. Frost 3 misses. Kalk with her 8th rebound of the game. But Paola has had just a really tough time taking care of the ball tonight. 26 turnovers in this game, and they are able to get a shot up this time, and Ava Kale knocks it down. So their first field goal of the second half. Baldwin really just can't hurt themselves in this fourth quarter. That's the one thing that will potentially open up the door and allow Paola back into this game, is by some self-inflicted wounds in this fourth period. Smith from straight away, and that helps. Answers the 2 with 3. And her first bucket of the game for Bailey Smith, who has once again been a dynamo on the defensive end tonight. A big reason why they forced the 26 turnovers, but now getting into the offensive action as well to push the lead to 16. Neufeld rips it away on a steal. Breakaway for Carly Neufeld, who will add to what is her now game-leading 15 points on the night, with 11 of the 15 coming in this second half. Lead is now 18 for Baldwin, who is hoping to really pick up some momentum here during the final couple of weeks of this regular season. Downham misses the 3. Fuller with an offensive rebound. Gets it back inside to Kale. She's fouled. A couple of free throws coming up for her. But with this game tonight, Baldwin has 4 remaining. Royal Valley, Ottawa, Jefferson West, and Bonner Springs after this game tonight. Royal Valley just 2-13. That's what they'll play on Friday. Then you get Ottawa and Jefferson West, the next 2 games. 2 teams that Baldwin has already beaten once this year, which again does not guarantee you anything in the second matchup of the season, but it does, or should anyway, give the Bulldogs some confidence going into those games. And if they can keep on reeling off some victories, they could go into that final game against Bonner Springs with a lot of momentum against a very good Bonner team to try and make their push towards a good seed going into the postseason. Up by 16 here with 6 minutes to go. And that's what the Bulldogs do not want to do in this fourth quarter, start turning the ball over. They've been very good tonight taking care of the ball. Just their 9th turnover right there. Frost commits a foul after the turnover. It's their 6th team foul. But with a big lead here, up by 16. Now another timeout taken by Paola. As I was going to say, with the big lead here early, that's the one thing that can let Paola back in this game. Starting to turn the ball over, so hopefully that won't happen. As you're watching Bulldog basketball presented by Hayden Outdoors. Baldwin Sports Live also brought to you in part by the Bullpen. Check them out for Wildcat Wednesday specials. Go down and dust off those vocal cords and enjoy karaoke Thursdays. Of course, big weekend coming up at the Bullpen. Big game coming up on Sunday. I imagine there will be lots of red down there in the crowd at the Bullpen. So join them. I suppose even if you want to wear green, you could come and join. You may just get mocked a little bit, but they'll welcome one, they'll welcome all. Down to the Bullpen this weekend for the big game. Open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Sundays, 10 to 8 at your locally owned sports bar in downtown Baldwin City, the Bullpen. Inside to Kale. Frost the rebound, and she is fouled, which will put her at the free throw line. Both teams over the limit now, and that is the third on Kalk. The 19th foul, so 1-1 for Frost. Frost 1 of 2 at the line tonight. A dozen points. And even though her scoring has tailed off over the last couple of quarters of this game as she rattles in the free throw, you got to give a lot of credit to Marin for setting the tone for this offense early on. During that first quarter when Paola was scoring the basketball at will, put up 19 first quarter points. If it were not for the 2 3-pointers that Frost made and the 8 points she had in that first quarter, Baldwin would have found themselves in a really big hole. And then if it were not for the 3-pointer that Frost hit with 2 seconds left in the first half, that gave Baldwin the lead at the half and helped springboard them into this big second half. And McKay Lang with the bucket. Frost along with Reichard and Neufeld all in double figures. Lang not far behind now with 7. This has probably been the best well-scoring or well-rounded scoring game that the Bulldogs have maybe had this year. They've had some games where multiple girls have gotten involved and scored, but as far as just having everybody at some point in time in this game have all been the big scorer for them. It's helped pave the way to a 17-point lead right now, and a couple of free throws coming up here for Reichard as a blocking foul is called on Pitzer, her 4th. Or check that, it's 32, not 12, so that's on Kalk, and it's her 4th. That's their 10th, so it will be a 2-shot foul here for Reichard. Chloe Neufeld returns for Baldwin. Game 2 of our doubleheaders coming up after this one, the boys game. 12-3 Baldwin boys, 2-12 Paola boys. A rematch from a Baldwin victory back on opening night. Paola on that night was breaking in a whole new starting lineup. They lost 9 seniors from last year on the boys team, so they were having to break in a whole new lineup on what was, for a lot of those guys, their very first time on the varsity floor. So I'm going to bet that the Paola boys will be improved from that game. Even though the wins may have not followed, just 2-12, they have won 2 of their last 4, so they're starting to maybe kind of get their legs under them at the varsity level, a lot of those younger guys. So Baldwin will see if they can pick up a big win coming up later tonight. And oh no, Kalk is down, and she had the offensive rebound and the putback. It was a great play by Kalk to cap off what's been a great night for her individually. 17 points and 10 rebounds, but she came down clutching that right knee, and you hate to see that. With 4:36 left to play in this game, a tremendous athlete, Maggie Kalk. Not only is she the premier player on this basketball team for the Panthers, but across the board, you name the sport, Maggie Kalk, front and center, a star for this Paola team. So they will help her off the floor immediately. Came down clutching that right knee. So going to hope for the best there for Maggie Kalk. You just hate to see injuries at any point in the game for any player. And when you're Paola and you see your star go down, it really kind of just sends that shockwave through the team, and not in a good way. So hope for the best there for Maggie. 54-38 our score with 4.5 minutes to play in this one. Baldwin looking to take some air out of the ball now. You can see their spacing keeping the ball high, keeping the ball extended out here. The defense extended. In no hurry with this big lead, and now a timeout taken by Baldwin. So we'll step aside with 4:02 left to play in the fourth. It's Baldwin 54, Paola 38 here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
Hayden Outdoors Real Estate has proudly been serving the Midwest since 1976, covering 29 states and over $1.3 billion in annual sales. Chad and Penny Sheldon are some of the top producing brokers from Baldwin City, Kansas, selling farms, ranches, rural homes, and recreational real estate throughout Kansas. Their knowledge, passion, and expertise will help make your next real estate transaction an excellent experience. Contact Chad or Penny today by phone at 785-821-2666 or by email at shad@haydenoutdoors.com.
$16-point Baldwin lead on the road in Paola tonight. The Bulldogs, winners of 9 games this year, 9-6 coming into play tonight, and they are 4 minutes away from win number 10. That was the win total for Baldwin a year ago, finished 10-11. And they'll have a chance to match that win total here tonight, and a very good opportunity to surpass it coming up on Friday night on the road at Royal Valley. Now just got to close out this final 4 minutes and hopefully healthy. That's one of the things you get to at this point. We just saw that injury to Maggie Kauk, and you hate to see that put a damper on a night. Well, Baldwin at this point in time is, again, content to let the clock run, pass the ball around, move the ball around, and try to get out of here without anything really changing from this point on. Trailed 19-12 at the end of the first quarter, but have really dominated the game since. A foul is called here out high that will put Reichert at the line for 2 shots. Second foul on Abby Ediger. 14 points tonight from Reichert, along with a handful of rebounds again. Baldwin continues to shoot their free throws well tonight. And that free throw by Reichert is a new season high for the Bulldog girls for free throws made in a game. They have made 20 free throws now, make it 21, and that is the most they have made in a single game this year. Their previous high was 19. So that has been a big part of this win as well. If you think about it, up 18 now. If they were shooting their free throws tonight at the clip they did the last time they played Paola, which was 11 of 30, they'd only be up by 8 right now. And you'd be feeling a lot less comfortable up 8 with 3 to go as opposed to up 18 with 3 to go. That is a foul on Baldwin after the offensive rebound by Ediger. Paola has secured a few more offensive rebounds here in this fourth quarter. That's the 3rd foul on Carly Toot. But for the most part tonight, for the majority of this game, Baldwin has been excellent at limiting the second chance opportunities. And now Toot and Pitzer end up on the floor. So Carly had just picked up her 3rd. Now she picks up her 4th, called for a push there. So the combination of Baldwin not turning the ball over tonight, just 9 turnovers, making their free throws as opposed to not the first time, and then not giving up those offensive rebounds. They've turned what was a 7-point win the first matchup into what is going to border on a 20-point win here in the rematch. Foul called on Foster. She fouls out of the game. So Marin Frost will have a couple more free throw opportunities. Wicker and Downham back in for Paola. 13 points tonight, 5 rebounds as well for Frost. He's hit 3 3-pointers in this game. and makes this a 20-point game with 2:37 to go. She'll exit. Chloe Neufeld back in. Well, 3 different players with 15 plus tonight. Frost and Carly Neufeld with 15 apiece. Reichard with 16 to lead the Bulldogs, and it is in a nice night offensively, up by 20 now. 3 off left iron, out of bounds to Baldwin. Hazel Downham will come back in for Paola. Marin Frost also back in for Baldwin. And a foul on Downham. Well, Chloe Neufeld will go to the line. She has not scored tonight. And she is the only player along with Lauren Berg, but Berg only played for just a very short stretch there earlier in this game. The only 2 that have played that have not scored, so Chloe will have a chance to do that at the line and does. 63% free throw shooter this year. 24 out of 30 now at the free throw line. (59-38) Baldwin. Foul on the Bulldogs, so more free throws here. This will put... Oh, no, they called it an offensive foul. Beg your pardon. So it's an offensive foul called on Ediger for an illegal screen, and Baldwin gets it back instead on the 28th turnover of the game for Paola. So now down to 2 minutes left in this game, and another couple of free throws coming up for Neufeld. Chloe, 1 of 2 trip to the line a moment ago. Bulldog basketball brought to you in part by Rice Precision Manufacturing. If you're looking for a start to a new career, perhaps Rice Precision is where you need to look. Online, riceprecision.com to learn more. Email jobs@riceprecision.com to inquire about current openings. Service many different industries, and they have a great work environment with excellent pay and competitive benefits. Great spot to start your next career. It's a 22-point lead now after another 1 of 2 trip at the line for Chloe Neufeld. Audra Downham from downtown, and it's 60-41. Berg now back in there for Baldwin. Kyan Frost and Samantha Scraper also in for the first time. And a tie up here that will send it to Paola as Fuller and Peyton Williams check back in for the Panthers. And it looks like they will also bring Anna Kane into the game. And for Baldwin, Carly Toot checks in. Downham back out to Audra, who just hit that 3. This time will drive it. And Fuller comes out of there with the ball. Another putback try for Paola. Still loose. Another offensive rebound for Kane. Out to Downham again for 3. So a couple of Audra Downham threes has taken a 22-point game, turned it to 16. But it is not going to affect the end result here as Neufeld gets fouled by Hazel Downham. We'll stop the clock momentarily yet again and allow Chloe Neufeld to step back up to the free throw line. She's 2 of 4 in the game. Season high for free throws attempted and made tonight for Baldwin. 26 out of 34 in this game. And they have now outscored Paola by 18 points at the free throw line. and they lead by 18 points in the game. 27-9 advantage in free throws made in this game. Another Paola turnover. And it should be the end of their free throws, I would think. Don't imagine we'll see any more fouls here. Cleared by Paola with 14 to go. And another turnover to put them on an even number 30 for the game. Second straight game that Baldwin has forced 30-plus turnovers. So Baldwin victorious on the road tonight, 62-44. The final, the Bulldogs now 10-6, dropping the Panthers to 3-13 with an 18-point road victory. We're back to wrap things up for you on the postgame right after this, including our Farm Bureau Financial Services Player of the Game, and that's next. You're watching Bulldog Basketball presented by Hayden Outdoors on Baldwin Sports Live.
Dr. Philip Harvey at Oral Surgery Kansas is a proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Dr. Harvey and his staff wish all of the Bulldogs the best of luck this year as you continue to make Baldwin City proud. Oral Surgery Kansas provides personalized, gentle, comprehensive patient care for a wide range of oral surgery procedures. To learn more, visit oralsurgerykansas.com or call 785-843-5490. Oral Surgery Kansas, cheering on the Baldwin Bulldogs.
Hayden Outdoors Real Estate has proudly been serving the Midwest since 1976, covering 29 states and over $1.3 billion in annual sales. Shad and Penny Sheldon are some of the top producing brokers from Baldwin City, Kansas, selling farms, ranches, rural homes, and recreational real estate throughout Kansas. Their knowledge, passion, and expertise will help make your next real estate transaction an excellent experience. Contact Shad or Penny today by phone at 785-821-2666 or by email at shad@haydenoutdoors.com.
Welcome back to Paola High School. The girls' game is final 62-44. Baldwin with an 18-point victory here on the road tonight. It's time to name tonight's Farm Bureau Financial Services Player of the Game. And this one may seem a little bit counterintuitive to the fact that you had your top three scorers on the year all scored in double figures tonight. They all played well, but leading the way on the defensive end tonight to help a charge of 30 turnovers in this game. Bailey Smith is tonight's Farm Bureau Financial Services Player of the Game. Too many times she goes unnoticed in the box score because she doesn't score a lot of points, only averages 2.7 a game. She had 3 tonight, hit a big 3 there in that second half, but does lead the team in assists this year, and she certainly leads the team defensively and was a big part of why the Bulldogs once again tonight forced 30 turnovers for the second consecutive game. 30 on the number tonight in this victory over the Paola Panthers. So Bailey Smith is tonight's Farm Bureau Financial Services Player of the Game. Brought to you by your local Farm Bureau team. Call today to set up a meeting with 785-594-1055. From insurance to investments, wealth management, and financial planning, Farm Bureau is there to help you protect it all. It's your future, so let's protect it. Let's get the final numbers now for you as well. The final numbers brought to you by New Frontier Tax and Business Services. They'll help you make sense of all those confusing tax season questions that you have, and they'll meet your critical business needs, all with the minimal investment. Timely, accurate, and reliable services at an affordable cost to help your business grow and succeed. Visit newfrontiertbs.com or call 785-594-1204 to learn more. Paola led this game early, 19-12 at the end of the first quarter. A first quarter that had 2 ties and 2 lead changes. A first half that had 4 ties and 7 lead changes. But Baldwin, really from about the midway point of the second quarter, is when they took charge of this game. They were down 23-16. Baldwin went on an 8-0 run to take a 24-23 lead. They would never trail by more than 1 point again after that. They trailed at 25-24 and 28-27, but a Marin Frost 3 to close out the first half gave the Bulldogs a 31-28 lead at the half, and they never looked back in the second half as they outscored Paola 31 16 in the second half, and they end up winning this ball game 62-44. And again, they really took control at that midway point of the second quarter and able to then cruise in the end to their 10th victory of the year. The Panthers got a big game from Maggie Kauk, a double-double from Kauk, 17 points and 10 rebounds. She did leave the game with an injury in that fourth quarter, so hopefully she'll be okay. It looked like she came down and holding her right knee, so we hope the best for Maggie. A double-double effort tonight, 17 points and 10 rebounds, 9 points as well from Ava Kale, 3 from Ella Foster, 2 from Maddie Pitzer, 4 from Abby Ediger, 6 from Audra Dallum, and 3 from Ellie Smale. Rounds out the Paola scoring numbers. Kauk's 10 rebounds led the way for the Panthers, and 4 rebounds from Jocelyn Fuller, 3 apiece from Abby Ediger and Ava Kale. For the Bulldogs, leading the way tonight was Alyssa Reichard with 16, her 7th game in double figures this year. Marin Frost and Carly Neufeld each added 15. Frost, it's her 4th game in double figures. For Neufeld, it's her team-leading 12th double-digit scoring game this year, including her 5th straight. Emma Kate Lang added 7, Carly Toot with 2, Chloe Neufeld with 4, and Bailey Smith with 3 to round out the Bulldogs scoring numbers. On the glass, the leader tonight was Frost with 5 rebounds, 3 apiece from Reichard and Carly Neufeld. And in the assist department, it was Carly Neufeld with 2 to lead the Bulldogs tonight. Baldwin only turned it over 10 times in this game, while they forced 30 Paola turnovers. And in the free throw line, a big difference maker as well. Baldwin 27 out of 35. 27 out of 35. Paola 9 out of 12. An 18-point advantage at that free throw line and an 18-point advantage on the scoreboard when it was all said and done tonight. Baldwin now 10-6 on the year, and they have evened up this head-to-head series over the last 32 matchups now, 16 apiece with their second win this year over the Panthers, who dropped to 3-13 on the season. Baldwin back in action on Friday night. They will be on the road to take on 2-13 Royal Valley. You can catch that game right here on Baldwin Sports Live. We'll take a timeout, come back, and switch gears for the boys' game. That's coming up next. You're watching Bulldog Basketball presented by Hayden Outdoors on Baldwin Sports Live. Once again, your girls' final tonight, Baldwin 62, Paola 44.
State Farm Insurance Agent Cody Anno is ready to be there for you every step of the way. From starting policies out to the day disaster strikes, Cody and his team are ready to help. Cody strives to be different, doing things the other people don't and other agencies won't, helping more people in more ways. That's Cody Anno State Farm. Call 785-594-0270 or stop by at 208 Baker Street for a cup of coffee and a free quote for your auto, home, or life insurance with Cody Anno, your local State Farm insurance agent in Baldwin City.
Trindle Lumber Company is the go-to stop for every do-it-yourselfer and professional contractor. They carry a wide variety of plumbing, electrical, and hardware products, along with a vast selection of windows, doors, and paint. Their full-service drive-through lumber yard has what you need for every project and offers free estimates and professional delivery. At Trindle Lumber Company, you get the right products with the best service. Stop by at 1516 South Main in Ottawa or call 785-242-8144.
With Heartland Plumbing, you get full-service plumbing from a real plumber, not a sales guy who's just there to fix a leak. Heartland Plumbing sets appointments they hold true to, not an inconvenient block of time they might be there. With a strong reputation and years of quality service, Heartland Plumbing has the tools and the people to get your plumbing job done on time the first time. Give them a call at 913-856-5846, serving every big town and small town around, residential and commercial. That's Heartland Plumbing, the plumber you can open your door to.
Welcome back here to Paola High School. I'm Bryce Kessler. You're watching Bulldog Basketball, presented by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the brand that sells the land. And we are now headed to the boys' game tonight, the Baldwin State Bank pregame show for the Baldwin boys, who are looking for win number 13 this year. They are 12-3 entering play tonight, winners of 3 straight games, including a blowout win on Friday against Veritas Christian, 70-33. That came after a blowout win over Osawatomie, 67-24, and that came after a 21-point blowout win over Wellsville. So 3 straight big victories for the Bulldogs. They're averaging 70 points per game during this 3-game run while allowing just 40 points per game, with wins by 21, 37, and 43. The offense has been red hot as well, shooting 46% during this 3-game winning streak. And tonight they run up against the 2-12 Paola Panthers, who have won 2 of their last 4 after an 0-10 start, including a 2-point win over Lewisburg on Wednesday night, 43-41 for the Panthers. So a team that's young, a team that's inexperienced coming into this year after losing 9 seniors from a year ago. But maybe they're trying to start to find their way a little bit. And the Bulldogs certainly are going to expect to get a better ball game from Paola than they got the first time around. They won the first matchup by 18, did Baldwin, 54-36. Paola shot just 25% in the game, while Baldwin shot 53%. So they expect a better game from Paola here on their home floor tonight. But I still don't know that makes a difference in the overall finish of this one, because Baldwin's playing some good basketball tonight. This season coming into tonight, they're the better team. We'll just see if they can take care of business here on the road. It's 12-3 Baldwin and 2-12 Paola coming up here on Baldwin Sports Live. We'll take a timeout, come back, and look at the matchups for you and check out our game plan as well for the Bulldogs tonight as they look for that 13th win of the year, run their win streak to 4 in a row. It's all coming up here on Baldwin Sports Live and the Baldwin State Bank pregame show for Bulldog basketball. Personal service from people who care. That's what you get at your hometown community bank at the Baldwin State Bank. Personal finances, business money management, loans and credit, savings for retirement. They can help you with all of it. Go see Baldwin State Bank. They've been there for over 120 years to help serve our community, and they want you to enjoy a better banking experience with your friends and neighbors at the Baldwin State Bank. It continues right after this on Baldwin Sports Live.
At Baldwin State Bank, we love being part of the community we serve. Our roots run deep in Baldwin City, and our commitment runs deeper. Whether it's that dream house you can't wait to call home, or the trust of your personal finances, both present and future, we're here to serve you, our customers, our neighbors. Baldwin State Bank, proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs for more than 100 years and counting. Come see us downtown or online at baldwinstatebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Kelly Neufeld and his team at Farm Bureau Financial Services are there to help you protect what matters most in your life. From insurance plans customized to fit everything you need covered, to comprehensive financial planning to help you achieve your goals both present and future. Kelly works uniquely with you face-to-face to gain confidence in your financial well-being. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting with Kelly Neufeld at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Baldwin City. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Welcome back to the Baldwin State Bank pregame show. Baldwin coming up against Paola here tonight as the Bulldogs look to improve to 13-3, ranked number 7 in the latest KBCA 4A state rankings. Paola just 2-12. They won 15 games a year ago, but they lost 9 seniors, including their all-stater in Trey Moala. So it was a reload this year for Paola. And that first time they played the Bulldogs was back on opening night this year. Lost by 18, Paola did, but they were breaking in a bunch of new guys in that game. They shot the ball very poorly, just 25% overall, 3 of 18 from 3, while Baldwin shot it at nearly 53% and went 7 of 23 from downtown. The one area they did give the Bulldogs some fits was on the offensive glass, had 19 offensive rebounds, but only 9 second chance points off of those 19 rebounds. And when Baldwin shoots nearly 53% and they're scoring nearly a point per possession, going to be pretty tough for the opponent to keep up with them, and that was the case on that opening night game back on December 2nd when Baldwin won on their home floor 54-36. So who to watch for Paola tonight? Well, your guess is kind of as good as mine. Again, bunch of new faces this year. Landon Taylor is a senior that was kind of the one holdover from a year ago. Jet Osborne being the other that had some playing time on that team a year ago that had so many of those seniors. Taylor played well in the first matchup, 12 points, 9 rebounds, 8 of those offensive rebounds. So he's probably the guy, if you're Baldwin, that you want to contain in this game. But honestly, this is, it's the coach speak type of game. This is not so much about the other team. It's more about ourselves. I think that is really true in this game for Baldwin, as the Bulldogs are just going to be looking to, do their thing tonight, and they can take care of their business, play their game, and not shoot themselves in the foot, not make uncharacteristic errors and those kinds of things tonight. And honestly, I don't see that they should have too many issues coming away with a victory here tonight, but you got to play them, and you got to put it all together. So we'll see if they can do that. And on that note, let's take a look at our State Farm Insurance game plan tonight for the Bulldogs. And it starts with that glass we talked about. You got to be better on the glass this time around. Paola's probably not going to shoot 25% from the field this time around. Not only is it not the opening game of the season, but now they're on their home floor as well. So I'm going to venture to guess that the Panthers will shoot it at better than 25%. If you give them 19 offensive rebounds, they're probably scoring more than 9 second-chance points, which is what they did in that first matchup. So got to be better on the glass tonight. I don't have any doubts that the Bulldogs will be, but I certainly think that falls into the game plan tonight for them. And then take care of your business early. That was the same key I had for them basically last week as well, and I think that'll continue to be through the remaining schedule here leading up at least to that Bonner Springs game, because Baldwin most nights at this point in time, I think it's safe to say when they step on the floor, they are confident they're the better team, and probably rightly so. But that means you got to take care of that business early. You're hot right now. Paola is maybe as confident as they have been all year, coming off of wins in 2 of their last 4 games following that 0-10 start, and that includes a win over Lewisburg on Wednesday night. So don't want to let them hang around early and start getting some momentum, start getting some confidence. To me, that's the key tonight. Take care of your business early, get a lead, and play from out in front. Make Paola start chasing early on. If the Bulldogs can do those couple of things, feel pretty good about their chances to improve to 13-3 on the season. That's a look at the State Farm Insurance game plan, brought to you by your State Farm Insurance agent, Cody Anno. Stop by and chat with Cody and the team down at State Farm Insurance at 208 Baker Street. You can find them online at codyismyagent.com or call 785-594-0270. Just have a cup of coffee, talk about life, talk about hunting, talk about the weather, talk about the kids, whatever the case may be. If Cody can get to know you better, then Cody can help craft a plan that's better for you as well. So go chat with Cody Anno at State Farm Insurance. Coming up, it's your starting lineups and the opening tip right after this. You're watching the Baldwin State Bank pregame show for our boys game, which is just moments away here on Baldwin Sports Live. Baldwin and Paola.
Hayden Outdoors Real Estate has proudly been serving the Midwest since 1976, covering 29 states and over $1.3 billion in annual sales. Shad and Penny Sheldon are some of the top producing brokers from Baldwin City, Kansas, selling farms, ranches, rural homes, and recreational real estate throughout Kansas. Their knowledge, passion, and expertise will help make your next real estate transaction an excellent experience. Contact Shad or Penny today, 821-2666, or by email at shad@haydenoutdoors.com.
For unbeatable service from a company you can trust, there's only one choice. Clint Davis and the One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning team have the expertise you need when it comes to the comfort of your family. Not only will they get the job done right, but they'll explain the preventative maintenance needed to avoid those costly emergency repairs. To schedule a free quote, call 785-393-9329 and join the Preferred Maintenance Club for special discounts. One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning, the one and only choice for the comfort of your family.
Hey, where are you going? Can't get by me. I'm number 1 in this class. I rule this lab. I'm number 1. Hey, I don't think so. Yes! Winner! I am the king! Woo!
You wouldn't do it there. So, don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
What?
Jerk. So, what is love? Love is being independent. Love is dancing. At Shriners Hospital for Children, love is a new smile.
At Shriners Hospitals for Children, Love is caring for a child regardless of the family's ability to pay. Learn how you can send your love to the rescue at lovetotherescue.org.
Welcome back here to Paola High School. Bulldogs finishing up their pregame warm-ups here as they get set to battle the Paola Panthers on the road tonight. And let's take a look now at tonight's starting lineups. They are brought to you by the Lumberyard Arts Center. And your starting lineups tonight for the Paola Panthers: Patrick Reeder, Landon Taylor, Cale Murdoch, Jet Osborne, and Eli Richmond. I did not get a chance to confirm those five. That's my guess. We'll see how close I am. And it looks like I'm at least off by one, as J.D. Troutman is going to be in that starting lineup as well instead of Eli Richmond. So take Richmond out, put Troutman in there. The rest of them are good. And for the Bulldogs, it is your normal starting five minus Torres tonight and Joey Zimbecki. I didn't make that change either, but Zimbecki in for Torres tonight as the Bulldogs starting lineups. So we're going to have to step aside for the national anthem. We'll be back right after this for the opening tip between Baldwin and Paola.
Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home is honored to be your choice when the difficult time comes to plan a lasting tribute for your loved ones. There to guide you through the process from beginning to end with each family's unique traditions and beliefs in mind. Visit lamb-roberts.com to see all of the services offered, including their online pre-planning tool, or call 785-594-3644 to visit with the caring professionals at Baldwin City's only locally owned funeral service and cremation service provider, Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home.
With Heartland Plumbing, you get full-service plumbing from a real plumber, not a sales guy who's just there to fix a leak. Heartland Plumbing sets appointments they hold true to, not an inconvenient block of time they might be there. With a strong reputation and years of quality service, Heartland Plumbing has the tools and the people to get your plumbing job done on time the first time. Give them a call at 913-856-5846. Serving every big town and small town around, residential and commercial. That's Heartland Plumbing, the plumber you can open your door to.
All right, so here we go. There's your starting lineup again for Baldwin: Joey Zimbecki, Riker Grosner, Cooper Carr, Caleb Carr, and Sam Darnell. Caleb, the leading scorer at 17.5 points per game. Grosner leads the team in rebounds at 7.5 per contest. Caleb Carr also the team's assist leader at 5 assists per game. The head coach is Donnie Blanchett. He is assisted by Pete Carr, Drew Tribaum, and Jackson Blakely. And for the Paola Panthers, it is Troutman, add him to that list, along with Reeder, Taylor, Murdoch, and Osborne. Their head coach is Ryan Oshel. You can check out the Baldwin boys basketball digital program by scanning that QR code on your screen right now. Check it out for all the latest content that the boys basketball program has to offer. It's updated all the time there on that digital program. There's your upcoming lineup for the Lumberyard Arts Center. The chocolate auction, tickets $10 at lumberyardartscenter.org. That's coming up this weekend. And then stay tuned for all the upcoming opportunities, including all the ongoing class opportunities at the Lumberyard Arts Center. Follow them on social media. Check them out online at lumberyardartscenter.org. So as far as that lineup goes for Paola, again, we don't have numbers, season numbers anyway for this team, but Taylor was their top scorer the first time they played. Patrick Reeder added 11, but it was a tough 11. He went just 4 of 13 from the field. Cale Murdoch took 13 shots, missed all 13 in that first matchup. So, again, expect him to shoot a little better this time around. But Baldwin, they're hot right now. They have won 3 in a row. They're averaging 70 points per game during this 3-game winning streak. And they are shooting as a team 46% during their 3-game winning streak. That leads us to tonight's opening tip-off. It is brought to you by the Baldwin City Recreation Commission. Open gym every Sunday throughout January and February at Baldwin High School, 2 to 5 p.m. So take advantage of that opportunity. Get signed up for soccer. And that's going on right now. Registration for youth soccer, kindergartners through 8th graders. Deadline coming up on February 17th. Micro soccer for the little ones, 2 to 4 years old, and learn the basic skills of the game in micro soccer. That registration open up until March 24th. So find out more, register, and check out the new website at baldwinrec.org for all the greatest and latest happening at Baldwin City Recreation Commission. Stop by and say hi to the staff as well downtown at 705 High Street. Here we go, Sam Darnell and Landon Taylor, and we are underway as Darnell wins the opening tip, and the Bulldogs will control it with a 12-3 record this year. Winners of 3 in a row, defeated Paola back in the season opener by 18, 54-36. And tonight looking to sweep a season series against the Panthers for the first time since the 2013-2014 season. And an early foul on the game's opening possession charged to Paola. It's Landon Taylor who picks up his first. Lob into Darnell, right back to Grossner. He gets knocked to the floor by Murdoch, and that is 2 fouls on Paola 19 seconds into the game. So they will rebound or inbound again. It's Zimbecki. Quickly swings to Carr. And the Bulldogs will set things up here. Zone defense to start for Paola, or at least maybe a junk man-to-man zone, and it forces a turnover. Zimbecki's bounce pass in for Darnell, and he was not looking for it. Bulldogs will get it back, though, as Landon Taylor dribbles it out of bounds. So they swap turnovers. Baldwin gets it back with 7:23 to play in this opening quarter. Just underway, no score. And now Baldwin nearly turned it over again. A fortunate break, though. Caleb's pass was deflected. Should have been stolen probably, but Cooper Carr ends up with it, and he lays it in. Cooper coming off of an 8-point, 8-rebound game against Veritas Christian. He has been playing some really good basketball lately, and there's a 2 from the short corner from Jet Osborne. Paola evens it back up a little over a minute into this opening quarter. Cooper out to Zimbecki. He fires a 3. Off the heel, backside rebound, Murdoch. Zimbecki, a career-high 18 against Paola in that season opener off of the bench for the Bulldogs. Went 4 of 8 from 3, 7 of 11 overall from the field. So trying to get him going early again in this game. And that was off of the bench in that season opener. Gets the start tonight, 3rd start of the year for Zimbecki, who started a number of games. In fact, was more often than not a starter in last year's lineup. Baldwin commits a foul. It will put Patrick Reeder at the free throw line. The foul is charged to Caleb Carr. Well, first foul against the Bulldogs. Here's Reeder, who struggled with efficiency in the first matchup. Ended up with a fine enough line, 11 points and 8 rebounds, but he was just 4 out of 13 from the field in the season opening loss to Baldwin for Paola. He's 1 of 2 at the line here, and that puts Paola on top for the first time. Push called on Troutman. That's 3 fouls now against Paola, 3 different guys, so nobody in foul trouble necessarily to start, but the team piling up, and now that's a 2nd foul on Murdoch, so now they do have a player with multiple fouls, and it's their 4th team foul, and that will put Cale Murdoch on the bench. In comes Micah Sanders to replace him. Tough start for Murdoch. And honestly, the 2 fouls, both of them, he was just kind of standing there. Just kind of unfortunate for him. Cooper inside to Darnell. Spinning to his left and banks it in off of the glass. Nice move to get around Taylor. Back to a 1-point Baldwin lead now. Nothing there for Troutman. Up top to Osborne, who has the lone field goal so far for the Panthers, and he has another. A 3-pointer by Jet Osborne, and it's a 6-4 lead Paola. And a zone defense from Paola as slowed down, if anything, this Baldwin offense early on. They're having a tough time getting into anything offensively. It's over to Grossner now. Up top, Zembecki. Riker to the short corner for Cooper Carr. Flips it over his head to Riker. Quickly swung back around to Caleb Carr. His bank shot misses, and Taylor the rebound for Paola. 2-point Paola lead. Already 3 lead changes in this opening 3 minutes. There's a foul on Caleb Carr, who just picked up his second on a little cheap hand check. So that will send Caleb to the bench. The Bulldogs point guard, senior leader, leads the team in scoring and assists and steals. Third on the team in rebounds, and he's on the bench with 2 first-quarter fouls. In comes Talon Torres to replace him. Torres has been a starter the majority of the year, 12 of the 15 games. Averages 7 points at 8 in the opener against the Panthers. So we'll see if Baldwin can keep things going with Caleb now on the bench for presumably the remaining 4:40 of this first quarter, probably. Dribble drive back up top to Sanders, who is in there for Murdoch, who has a couple of early fouls. Now Eli Richmond picks up his first, and the 15th foul on Paola. Well, Cooper Carr will now take over at the point for the Bulldogs with Caleb Carr on the bench. A couple of shooters on the wings, and Zembecki and Torres. Grossner out there as well. Those guys, all 3 shot the ball well this year. Carr attacks, kicks. Grossner does not take it. I'll bring it back up high for Zembecki. And Torres, Grossner, and Zembecki all over 30% from beyond the arc. Torres, the high mark at 36 on the team. Or at least of those 3. Carr's 38%. Caleb's 38% mark, the best 3-point mark of the team. Paola wanted a carry called there on Grossner, but official says he kept his hand above the ball. Now Cooper Carr charging into the paint is called for the offensive foul. Charge drawn by Eli Richmond. The Bulldogs just having a little trouble right now getting into their sets with this zone defense of Paola. Haven't looked too comfortable down on that end yet. Trailing 6-4. Some full court pressure here with the Bulldogs. Broken by Paola. The Panthers have scored both their field goals from Jet Osborne, who's on the bench right now. Taylor bullying his way into the paint, trying to tap the rebound back to himself. Ends up out of bounds off of Taylor, so Baldwin takes over, down by 2 with 3:26 to go in a low-scoring first quarter. Baldwin averages 62 points per game. Paola averaging just 37 per night, so certainly a low-scoring game favors the Panthers tonight. Baldwin averaging 70 points per night during their 3-game winning streak. Inside they go to Darnell, and he has now rewarded them with a couple of buckets when they've gotten it into Sam. We're tied at 6. Underneath for Taylor. Lost the handle, and then commits the foul as he tackles Grossner. Not a terrible foul necessarily, although it is his second, so that part makes it a little less appeasing if you're Paola, but he did stop a breakaway chance perhaps. He'll check out. J.D. Troutman back in, tied at 6. As Grossner also exits the Baldwin lineup, Braden Statham has come onto the floor for the Bulldogs. Senior number 32 here on the left wing. High skip pass across to Zembecki. I think they can go back into Darnell here. He's scored a couple of buckets for him when they've got him that touchdown in the low post. Here he is from the high post. Statham from the corner. Darnell taps the rebound out to Cooper Carr. Darnell's been so great at that. When he can't grab the offensive rebound himself, he has just got a nice knack for tapping that ball out to one of his guards. And there is Zembecki taking advantage of the second chance opportunity by knocking down a 3 and pushes the Bulldog lead back to 3. Reeder runs into a double team. Comes up top to Troutman. Around to Cohey. Inside to Richmond, and he's fouled from behind by Darnell. Fourth foul on Baldwin, the first on Darnell. Jet Osborne back in for Paola. He's their leading scorer with 5 in this opening quarter. And the Panthers throw it away. Bulldog basketball with 1:57 to go in the quarter. Baldwin with a 9-6 lead, 2 ties, 3 lead changes so far in this opening 6 minutes. Darnell from the low block. Out to Torres, who pulls the trigger. He clears for Paola. Deflected and stolen. Darnell will bring it up. Point forward for the Bulldogs. There's Mbeki. Around it comes Cooper Carr, looking to penetrate. Kicks to stay them. Now Torres gets past the primary defender. Secondary defender Osborne comes over to stop the drive. And Paola takes over down 3. Landon Taylor will come back. Taylor has 2 fouls, so Ryan Oshel will roll the dice a little bit here with his senior guard, Taylor, one of the leaders of this team, and put him back out there with 2 and roll the dice that he does not pick up a third in this first quarter. Knocked free for a moment by Cooper. Again knocked free. And then a whistle, and they'll say Cooper was on the sideline, never reestablished himself in play. So no turnover. It stays with Paola with a minute to play in the quarter. Here's Taylor with 2 fouls. Up top and around it comes to Troutman. And an illegal screen will go as the 7th foul of the first quarter on Paola. And charge that one to Micah Sanders. Richmond checks into the game. So here is Carr at the line. I'm guessing they're saying that happened on the inbound play and not with team control. I was trying to see if they were going to say anything to either side. With a team control foul, you wouldn't shoot the bonus here, but on the inbound play apparently is where they're ruling that foul occurred. Either way, Baldwin takes advantage and gets 2 at the line to go up by 5. 4 first quarter points for Cooper Carr. Doing the majority of this with Caleb Carr, their leading scorer on the bench in this first quarter. No points, no assists, no rebounds in this first quarter for Caleb Carr after picking up 2 fouls. So Baldwin, that's a double win, if you will, to come away with the win in this quarter and doing it without your star on the floor. Not that they lack for star power elsewhere. This is a very well-balanced team. 5 guys, or 6 guys who average over 7 points per game for the Bulldogs this year. Backdoor cut, a little give and go. Torres missed it, and Richmond clears it. Reeder shuffled the feet and turns it over with 3 seconds to go in the quarter. We'll see if Cooper can heave one, or they might be better off throwing it to half court. They do get it up to Torres. He'll have a chance, and no good. That will end the quarter, 11-6. Baldwin on top after 1 here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
Hers Incorporated in Spring Hill is your area's premier small engine repair shop. Before you replace that faulty trimmer or mower, let our experts get you back to work. And if you are in the market for a new handheld, we carry Maruyama and Red Max trimmers. Plus, Hers is still the best place for hydraulic hoses, cylinder repair, and mechanical control cables. If that's not enough, we're also a UPS drop-off location. To learn more, visit us at hersinc.net, call 913-247-3530, or just stop on by.
When choosing a bank, wouldn't you prefer doing business with a local institution with years of commitment to our community? That's Baldwin State Bank. For more than 100 years, we've been providing products and services specifically tailored to our friends in Baldwin City. Whether it's a free checking account, savings for retirement, or your next loan, we'll be here. Because our roots are here. Baldwin State Bank, proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Come see us downtown or online at baldwinstatebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
An 11-6 lead for Baldwin. A low-scoring start to this game. The Bulldogs took a little bit to get the offense going, but they were able to keep Paola in check. The Panthers went scoreless over the final 5 minutes of that first quarter. So despite a bit of a slow start for the Bulldog offense, they still have a 5-point lead. Caleb Carr's back on the floor now for the Bulldogs. He had 2 first-quarter fouls, sat half of that first quarter, a little over half of the first quarter. There's a 3 out of the corner from Patrick Reeder. So their first bucket since north of the 5-minute mark of the first quarter for Paola. It's a 2-point game now. And Caleb has it ripped. Reeder the other way, missed the layup. Troutman on the follow-up, ties the game at 11. Inside to Darnell. Good positioning again. Sam missed it. Again trying to tap that ball out. And that time may have been better served to just grab it himself. But Paola has a chance to take the lead back now. That ball gets kicked out of bounds, and Baldwin will take over on the 8th turnover by Paola tonight. Carr brings it up. No points, no rebounds so far in this game. He battled foul trouble in the opener against Paola as well. He and Cooper both battled foul trouble in that game. And are they going to call this offensive? They are, and that is number 3 on Caleb. So Zimbecki will check back in. Carr heads back to the bench. Frustrating start tonight for Caleb, but opens the door for some other guys to step up and lead this team tonight. Carr puts a towel over his head on the bench, frustrated with the way this game has started. But the Bulldogs is going to have to find a way with their 17 points per game score on the bench. Inside it goes to Reeder. 5-0 run to start this second quarter. Osborne, a couple of fakes, back out to Reeder. 3-pointer around and out, rebounded by Cooper Carr. Here he comes. Bulldogs love to run, love to play fast, get a transition 3 up from Grossner, but it's off the mark. Murdoch the rebound for Paola. Baldwin scored just 2 buckets the first 5 minutes of this game. Paola has scored just 2 buckets in the last 7 minutes of this game. Both teams struggling to get going offensively. Cooper Carr the rebound. Here comes Baldwin in a tie game. Deflected out by Murdoch. Richmond and Sanders check back in for Paola. Landon Taylor is out there with 2 Paola fouls. Murdoch as well just went to the bench with 2. Baldwin's Caleb Carr on the bench with 3. Grossner passes up an opportunity there. The Bulldogs have hit just 1 3-pointer so far in this game. They're averaging a little over 7 per game this season. But no matter where the shots come from right now, they're having a tough time scoring. And that was a mid-air adjustment, it looked like, by Cooper. I think he went up with the intention to pass, then had to just kind of awkwardly shoot that ball up there for the elbow. Troutman up and under, off the glass, and taken away from him by Darnell. Darnell may have gotten away with a travel and a takeoff and then commits the offensive foul. So a turnover nonetheless, and it's his second foul. Murdoch checks back in along with Caden Cohey for Paola. Tied up at 11. Taylor bounces high to Sanders. Now Murdoch went 0 for 13 from the field against Baldwin in their first matchup. Taylor, reverse layup. Misses, loose ball. Murdoch down onto the floor, still loose. Darnell comes away with it. Numbers for Baldwin. Zimbecki fouled, and he'll head to the line. Cohee picks up the foul. A couple of free throws here for Joey Zimbecki, a 71% free throw shooter this year. He has not been there very often, just 7 attempts coming into tonight. He's made 5 of the 7. Baldwin did not shoot free throws particularly well when they were up against Paola in the season opener. Went 9 of 19 in that game. They're 62% as a team this year. But they are 0 for 2 to start this one, and the game remains tied. Braden Statham has checked in now for Baldwin. 4.5 minutes to go in a struggle offensively in this first half for both teams. Ball was knocked out of the hands of Sanders on the way up. He was able to regather it, and it puts Paola on top 13-11. Cooper Carr looking to answer for 3. Offensive rebound by Darnell, and he's fouled by Richmond. So that will put Sam at the free throw line. 19th foul, so 1-1 here for Darnell. Osborne back in for Richmond for Paola. Sam 54% this year at the free throw line. So 1-1. Rattles it in there, and will have a chance to tie the game now. Reeder returns for Paola. Knotted up at 13. 4th tie of this first half to go along with 4 lead changes as well. Paola, if you asked them coming in, they were hoping for a low-scoring game, I'm sure. A team that only averages 37 points per game, while Baldwin scores north of 62 points per game. But this has not been the pretty offensive start that the Bulldogs have grown accustomed to the last couple of games during this 3-game winning streak. Cohee out of the corner, missed the 3, but nobody put a body on Reeder. They let him just fly right in there for the offensive rebound. And the second chance points make it 15-13. Baldwin gave up 19 offensive rebounds to Paola when they met in that season opener. That was their 3rd of this game. And they capitalized at the couple of second chance points. That was what they did not do with those 19 rebounds in the first matchup. Only 9 second chance points coming off of those 19 offensive rebounds. Statham rattles in a 3, and the Bulldogs take the lead back at 16-15. And Statham has really become a weapon out there from that 3-point line. He's shooting 38% this year from downtown. Now 6 out of 15 on the year. Running floater by Reeder gets 2 back for Paola, and the Panthers back on top by 1. Zimbecki surveys from the corner, bounces it into the short corner for Darnell. Up top, Grossner. 3-pointer off the mark, long rebound tracked down by Taylor. And he's starting to feel it down on this end, kicks it to the corner for Osborne. Offensive rebound from Cohee. Offensive foul is going to be called on Cohee for a hook. So Cohee, great job with the offensive glass, but then commits their 9th turnover. Timeout Baldwin, the Bulldogs trailing 17-16 with 2:26 to go first quarter. Bulldog basketball is presented by Hayden Outdoors, a brand that sells the land. Your local Baldwin City brokers are Shad and Penny Sheldon, natives of Goodland, Kansas. Now been in the Baldwin area for the last decade, and they are experts in selling rural homes, farms, ranches, and recreational real estate. They've built several successful businesses. They manage their own farm and a hunting lodge. They have the expertise and the know-how to help you sell or purchase your next farm, ranch, or recreational property. Call them at 785-821-2666 and visit HaydenOutdoors.com to learn more. Well, as frustrating as the start offensively has been for the Bulldogs, they're down just one, and they're only 3 possessions or so from a quick 7-6-point run to take control before the half ends. They can score in bunches when they get it going. They just haven't quite got it going yet tonight. Now Statham stumbles after that pass was deflected away, so a 6th Baldwin turnover. Caden Englert has checked in for the Bulldogs for the first time tonight. 6'4" senior, averages a couple of points, 1.5 rebounds per game off of the bench. They have been without Caleb Carr the majority of the night as well, and he is certainly the glue for this team as that 3 by Troutman is drained, and it is now a 20-16 lead for Paola. And it's with Carr on the bench, you're losing your point guard as well. It kind of gets you in all your sets offensively, and not only does he score 17 tonight, he assists at 5 assists per night clip. So a lot runs through Caleb Carr, but foul trouble tonight has him on the bench. And a Baldwin turnover here has Paola in business, up by 4 with 1:35 to go in the half. Carr has only played for about 5 minutes in this first half as Murdoch has a 3 go in, out, and back in. They went 3 out of 18 from three-point land in their first matchup with Baldwin, but they have now knocked down 3 threes in this quarter alone, 4 for the game, and lead by 7 with just over a minute to play in the half. Skip pass by Englert is intercepted by Taylor. Leaves it up the floor for Troutman, who is fouled by Englert, who is trying to hustle back and make up for the turnover, but fouls J.D. Troutman, who will get 2 shots at the line. Baldwin has now turned it over 6 times in this second quarter. It puts Troutman at the line for 2 shots. The first is no good with a minute left in this half. Bulldogs just trying to survive the half at this point. Take a collective deep breath and regroup at the break. Thankfully, the couple of missed free throws there by Troutman doesn't extend this lead. It's a 7-0 run, or make that an 8-0 run right now for Paola with under a minute to play in this quarter. But Baldwin has gone 2.5 minutes without scoring. Inside to Darnell, reverses it out to Cooper Carr, and the drought continues for the Bulldogs. Osborne on the rebound. Half minute to play in this second quarter. Panthers are hoping for the final look. But Troutman unwilling to pass up a wide open 3, and I guess you can't blame him because he knocks it down. It's an 11-0 run for Paola here in the closing minutes of this first half, and they lead by 10. 5 seconds left for the Bulldogs. Out to Zembecki with 3. Up top, Cooper Carr, and a big shot from Cooper. It feels a heck of a lot better being down 7 as opposed to 10. You don't like to see that double-digit deficit at the half, and after that Cooper Carr 3, it won't be. It's a 7-point deficit, though, as Paola goes to the locker room up 26-19. You're watching Bulldog basketball presented by Hayden Outdoors. The Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show is coming up next.
Kelly Neufeld and his team at Farm Bureau Financial Services are there to help you protect what matters most in your life. From insurance plans customized to fit everything you need covered, to comprehensive financial planning to help you achieve your goals both present and future. Kelly works uniquely with you face-to-face to gain confidence in your financial well-being. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting with Kelly Neufeld at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Baldwin City. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home is honored to be your choice when the difficult time comes to plan a lasting tribute for your loved ones. There to guide you through the process from beginning to end with each family's unique traditions and beliefs in mind. Visit lamb-roberts.com to see all of the services offered, including their online pre-planning tool, or call 785-594-3644 to visit with the caring professionals at Baldwin City's only locally owned funeral service and cremation service provider, Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home.
Dr. Philip Harvey at Oral Surgery Kansas is a proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Dr. Harvey and his staff wish all of the Bulldogs the best of luck this year as you continue to make Baldwin City proud. Oral Surgery Kansas provides personalized, gentle, comprehensive patient care for a wide range of oral surgery procedures. To learn more, visit oralsurgerykansas.com or call 785-843-5490. Oral Surgery Kansas, cheering on the Baldwin Bulldogs.
26-19 here at the break. It's the Paola Panthers on top of the Baldwin Bulldogs. A surprising halftime score, perhaps, but maybe not so much when you dive into that first half. We'll do it here in a second. It's the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show brought to you by Kelly Neufeld and the Farm Bureau team in downtown Baldwin. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting. See how Kelly and his team can help you achieve your financial goals, both present and future. 7-point game here, 4 ties, 6 lead changes in that first half. Baldwin really struggled to get into their offense in that first half, and a big reason why they played the majority of that first half without Caleb Carr, their starting senior point guard. And he had some foul trouble early, picked up 2 first-quarter fouls, exited the game at the 4:40 mark of the first quarter, did not play the rest of the first quarter, came back in to start the second quarter, but then was called for an offensive foul, picked up his 3rd early in the second quarter to put him right back onto the bench, and he remained there the rest of the way in that first half. So without him out there, things just did not go very smooth on the offensive end for the Bulldogs, who turned it over 8 times and only scored 8 points in that second quarter after leading 11-6 at the end of the first quarter. But the Bulldogs got outscored 20-8 in that second quarter, including an 11-0 run by Paola to close out that first half prior to the 3 being made by Cooper Carr, who knocked down a big shot there with just a couple of seconds to spare to close out that first half. And, we may look back when this one's all said and done and look at that 3 as even bigger shot than it felt like at the time, because going into the locker room down 10, that feels a lot worse than going in down 7. You're trailing either way, but you just hate to see a double-digit deficit when you come back out of that locker room to start the second half. So let's hope that A, Caleb Carr can stay out of foul trouble in this second half and get this offense rolling again, and B, that the Bulldogs can start taking care of the basketball and close this gap and get over the hump, take the lead. They held the lead through the latter parts of the first quarter and then early on in the second quarter, but Paola, once they went on that 11-0 run, it started looking a little worse there for the Bulldogs in that first half. But still a whole half to go, plenty of time. They're going to have to get it going in this second half if they do not want to avoid a big upset here tonight to the 2-12 Paola Panthers. Baldwin at 12-3, ranked number 7 right now, and in some trouble on the road here tonight. 26-19 is our halftime score. We'll check the numbers for you with New Frontier Tax and Business Services right after this word from Farm Bureau.
Kelly Neufeld and his team at Farm Bureau Financial Services are there to help you protect what matters most in your life. From insurance plans customized to fit everything you need covered, to comprehensive financial planning to help you achieve your goals both present and future. Kelly works uniquely with you face-to-face to gain confidence in your financial well-being. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting with Kelly Neufeld at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Baldwin City. It's your future. Let's protect it.
All right, let's check the numbers in this first half, brought to you by New Frontier Tax and Business Services. It is a 26-19 Paola lead right now after a first half that had 4 ties and 6 lead changes. The Panthers, well-balanced effort in that first half. J.D. Troutman with 8 points, all in the second quarter. He's their top scorer right now. Patrick Reeder also scored all of his points in the second quarter. He had 7 in that second period. Cale Murdoch added 3, and Jet Osborne had 5, all of his coming in the first quarter of this contest, and Micah Sanders adding 2 as well to that tally for the Panthers. For the Bulldogs, leading scorer was Cooper Carr with 7. Sam Darnell added 6, and 3 from Joey Zembecki, 3 as well from Brayton Statham. The Bulldogs went 2 of 4 at the free throw line. Paola just 1 of 4. Paola turning it over 9 times. Baldwin had 8 turnovers in that first half. Foul trouble, that was the story. Baldwin with 3 on Carr, 2 on Sam Darnell. And Paola, they looked like they were going to get themselves into some foul trouble in that first half. Landon Taylor and Cale Murdoch each picked up 2 fouls in the first quarter, so both those starters were sent to the bench, but both were able to play the majority of the second quarter and play it clean, so they still each have just 2 fouls. Caden Cohey, one of their reserves, also with 2 fouls, as that first half had a combined 18 fouls called in it. And right now it's a 7-point lead for Paola. The Panthers on top 26-19, trying to pull off a big upset here tonight over the 12-3 Baldwin Bulldogs. And right now halfway home, they lead at 26-19. Coming up after this, we'll start the second half as the Bulldogs will look to come from behind for the 3rd time this year to win a ball game. They've been very good with a halftime lead, 10-1, but you know what? They've been pretty darn good coming back from a halftime deficit as well. 2-2 this year when trailing at the half. Do they have a 3rd comeback victory in them? Find out in the second half. It's 26-19. Paola leads Baldwin. Second half starts next here on Baldwin Sports Live. You've been watching the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show. Kelly Neufeld and his team, proud supporters of the Baldwin Bulldogs, and they love to support you in your financial future as well. Give them a call at 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting with Farm Bureau. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Hayden Outdoors Real Estate has proudly been serving the Midwest since 1976, covering 29 states and over $1.3 billion in annual sales. Chad and Penny Sheldon are some of the top producing brokers from Baldwin City, Kansas, selling farms, ranches, rural homes, and recreational real estate throughout Kansas. Their knowledge, passion, and expertise will help make your next real estate transaction an excellent experience. Contact Chad or Penny today by phone at 785-821-2666 or by email at shad@haydenoutdoors.com.
At Baldwin State Bank, we love being part of the community we serve. Our roots run deep in Baldwin City, and our commitment runs deeper. Whether it's that dream house you can't wait to call home, or the trust of your personal finances, both present and future, we're here to serve you, our customers, our neighbors. Baldwin State Bank, proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs for more than 100 years and counting. Come see us downtown or online at baldwinstatebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We are headed off the second half here tonight in Paola. It is a 26-19 lead for the Paola Panthers, as it looks like our scoreboard camera continues to migrate a little bit more, and now it's starting to come back into the picture there. So I guess for now we can see the score and the clock again. Oh well, 26-19 here is our score as we head to this second half. Take a look here at the upcoming broadcast schedule for the Bulldogs, and that will continue on Friday night with a trip to Hoyt, Kansas to take on Royal Valley. Friday night the following week they'll be on the road at Ottawa, and then Tuesday the 21st back on the road to take on Jeff West. So a little road trip action right now for the Bulldogs. 4 straight road games for Baldwin, 5 straight for the boys after their visit to Veritas Christian on Friday night this past week as well. So some road warriors right now for both the boys and the girls. You can follow the action right here on Baldwin Sports Live with those games, and you can also check out our upcoming broadcast schedule in the Baldwin City Community News, your local weekly newspaper. It's just $5 a month to subscribe to the Baldwin City Community News. Subscribe downtown at the Nook, 703 8th Street in Baldwin, to get that subscription up and going and stay up to date with all the latest community events, feature stories from around the area, news, sports, and more with the Baldwin City Community News. It's Bulldog basketball to start this third quarter. Caleb Carr is in there, and that is a push. Ooh, they're going to count that basket for Sam Darnell. That was a little bit generous, and it is a 2-point bucket on the opening possession for the Bulldogs and a chance to make it a 3-point play. It's the 3rd foul on Landon Taylor, so that opening possession went about as bad as it could have for Paola. A 3rd foul charge to Taylor and 3 points for Baldwin on a very generous Three-point opportunity given there on the continuation to Darnell. He takes full advantage of it, and the Bulldogs are now down by 4. And again, they were down 10 with just a couple of seconds to go in the first half before Cooper Carr hit a big 3, and now 3 more coming out. But a backdoor cut fine to Landon Taylor, who scores his first bucket of the game, and it makes it a 28-22 Paola lead. 4 ties, 7 lead changes in the opening half of this game. Darnell going right back to work, and Sams into double figures with his 11th point of the game, 6th time this year that Darnell has scored double figures for the Bulldogs. Ties him for second of the team in 10-plus point games with Cooper Carr. Up and under. Reeder's scoop doesn't go, but it's tapped out to Osborne. Sets up a second chance opportunity from beyond the arc by Troutman, but it's an empty trip for Paola. The Panthers lead by 4 a minute into the second half. Caleb Carr back on the floor for the Bulldogs. Spent the majority of the first half on the bench with foul troubles. Has yet to score in this game. Doesn't have an assist either. His 3 goes in and out, rebounded by Osborne. Carr averages 17.5 points per game and 5 assists per game, along with 5 rebounds per game. He has zeros in all 3 of those categories right now because of the foul troubles, with the Bulldogs trying to persevere and win a game despite that fact. Down by 4. They have overcome 2 halftime deficits to win this year. 2-2 when trailing at the half. Inside to Troutman, rejected by Darnell. Got it back though. And now it's Osborne from the deep corner. Cooper Carr the rebound. Out to Caleb Carr. Does not want to be too aggressive and pick up a 4th, so he veers out. They kick it around the corner, and it goes to Zembecki, who is blocked out of bounds by Taylor. Carr tied up, ball comes free, so it allows Caleb to start the dribble once again. Inside they go to Darnell. Kick out to Zembecki. 3-pointer off left iron. Rebounded by Richmond. Zembecki had a 3 back at the first quarter of this game. Gave Baldwin a 9-6 lead at the time. His only bucket so far after he had 18 against the Panthers in their first matchup. Eli Richmond gets his first hoop on a little hook shot there. And it's a 6-point lead once again for Paola. They've led by as many as 10. Inside Darnell, out to Zembecki. He'll fire up another 3. Cooper Carr tracks down an offensive rebound. Deflected out by Taylor. Cohey returns for Paola. Torres checks back in for Baldwin. Just kind of keep waiting for Baldwin to get that run and take off. There's 2 on the nice inbound play to Grossner. But at a certain point in time, you can't keep waiting for it. It has to happen, right? And now, 19 minutes into this ball game, we're still waiting. Baldwin down by 4. Troutman. Jump stop in the paint. Gives it to a cutting Cohey, who puts a floater up off the back iron. No good. Cooper Carr with the rebound. Out to Caleb Carr. Underhand shuffle to Grossner. Around to Torres. Trying to go baseline on Cohey. Cut off. Now Darnell spinning into the paint. Blocking foul. And they are going to wave it off. Put this foul on the floor. It's Richmond's 3rd. No basket for Darnell. Second team foul charged to Paola in this 3rd quarter. And Statham will check in along with Leo Schoenberger for Baldwin. Jet Osborne checks back in for Paola. So Schoenberger, a 6'3 freshman, he'll inbound. He's in for the first time tonight. Caleb missed the 3 for the wing. Taps to Statham by Darnell. Inside Darnell. Offensive foul, and that is a very tough break for Darnell. The defender was really deep. Darnell on the catch was underneath the basket pretty much already. And there's just not anything Darnell can do about that. So unfortunately it's his 3rd. And it will give it back to Paola in a 4-point Panther lead with 4 minutes to go. Murdoch for three. 7-point lead, Paola. Stay them once into the corner. They get it to him, and Braden can't answer the three. Rebounded by Schoenberger. Baldwin unable to take advantage of an offensive rebound last time down. This time they do. Set up by the drive by Caleb Carr, who gets the assist to the bucket to Darnell, who has 13. And he goes to the line to try to make it a three-point play again. The foul is charged to Jet Osborne, his first. Landon Taylor back in for Paola. Darnell with 13 points tonight. He's the Bulldogs' top scorer. Misses the free throw. Schoenberger, good effort there, trying to corral an offensive rebound, but had it go off his fingertips.
Off the hands of number 22, Schoenberger.
A 5-point Paola lead with 3:36 to go in the third. Murdoch again for three. Airballs this one, knocked out of Schoenberger's hands. Actually, they're going to call a foul on Taylor on that play. So talk about tough break. We had one on Darnell earlier, and that's perhaps even a tougher break if you're Paola. That's 4 fouls on Landon Taylor, and that's one that very easily could have just been whistled out of bounds. Give it to Baldwin, play on, but instead Taylor called for the foul. Carr, kick to the corner to Cooper Carr, back to Caleb Carr. Trying to penetrate in, and a blocking foul, surely. Yep, that one's on Osborne. And 2 shots coming up for Caleb Carr, who has yet to score in this game. He has been in double figures all 15 games this year for Baldwin. At least 11 points every game, but due to some foul trouble here tonight, he has yet to score. Now he is still yet to score as he misses the first of the 2 free throws. Averaging 18 points per game over his last 7 with a 3-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. He's been playing really good basketball pretty much from the opening tip of the season. But man, it has just been a tough night for Caleb. Misses both free throws. And it's still a 5-point lead for Paola. Off the glass, the scoop is in for Reeder, and a 3-point opportunity for him. The Baldwin foul is charged to Torres. A 3-point chance for Reeder, who is up to 9 points on the night. Ryder Nye checks in for the first time for Baldwin, a sophomore in for Talon Torres. Eight-point lead for Paola with under 3 to go in the third quarter. Double digits tonight from Reeder. And a timeout here with 2:57 to go. Starting to get interesting here for the Bulldogs as they are down 8, under 3 to play in the third. Bulldog basketball brought to you in part by the Bullpen, who is inviting you to join them over at the Nook on Sunday for the big game brunch. 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Nook, 703 8th Street. Big game brunch happening. Get you all set. You know you probably already have your plans for the big game, but how about before the big game? And that is brunch at the Nook. While you're there, sign up at the Baldwin City Community News as well for just $5 a month. 8-point game, 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Caleb Carr brings it up for the Bulldogs. Still looking to get something going tonight. Underneath to Darnell. That's been their best offense. Darnell has 15 points now, and that's where they have been most effective, getting the ball inside to Darnell on a night that it's just been a tough go of it on the offensive end of the floor. Baldwin not even yet halfway to their per-game average for the season, and we only have 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Free throws coming up for Murdoch as he gets fouled on that shot attempt by Schoenberger. 13 foul. It's the first on Leo. A couple of free throws here for Murdoch, who Has to feel good about knocking down a couple of threes in this game for Paola. He went 0 for 13 from the field against Baldwin in their opening night matchup. But he's hit a pair of threes, one in the second quarter, one here in the third quarter. Misses both free throws, though. Stays a 6-point game. Caleb Carr, coast to coast. Give him 2 points, his first of the game. And perhaps that will get the seal off things for Caleb and let this rocket ship take off for Baldwin. Back that up by a turnover, and there you go. Baldwin trying to make a run here late in the third quarter. They've closed it back down to 4 with back-to-back buckets. See if they can trim it down a little further here. Inside to Darnell. Keep feeding the big guy in there, this time missing it though. Osborne defensively, then it's turned over on the outlet. Caleb to Cooper, 2 more for the Bulldogs. 36-34. Timeout Paola. So the Panthers up by 8 just a moment ago, now by just 2 with 1:50 to go in the third quarter. You're watching Bulldog basketball presented by Hayden Outdoors on Baldwin Sports Live.
Dr. Philip Harvey at Oral Surgery Kansas is a proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Dr. Harvey and his staff wish all of the Bulldogs the best of luck this year as you continue to make Baldwin City proud. Oral Surgery Kansas provides personalized, gentle, comprehensive patient care for a wide range of oral surgery procedures. To learn more, visit oralsurgerykansas.com or call 785-843-5490. Oral Surgery Kansas, cheering on the Baldwin Bulldogs.
Bulldog basketball brought to you in part by Rice Precision Manufacturing. If you're looking for a great job at the growing family-owned company in Baldwin City, then check out Rice Precision Manufacturing. Learn more online at riceprecision.com. Send an email to jobs@riceprecision.com to learn about current openings, excellent pay, competitive benefit packages, a climate-controlled work environment, and friendly support staff that's dedicated to the betterment of their employees. All at Rice Precision Manufacturing in Baldwin. It's a 2-point game with 1:50 to go in the third quarter. Baldwin was down 8 just a moment ago. But a 6-0 Baldwin run has it back to a 1-possession game. Sanders called, or Nye rather, called for the hand check there as he put 2 hands on the ball handler, Sanders. 4th team foul, first personal for Ryder. Reeder floats it up and floats it through. A dozen points from Patrick Reeder. He's the leading scorer tonight for Paola. Around to Grossner for the wing. Darnell the offensive rebound and the stick back. 17 points tonight from Sam Darnell. Pressure in the backcourt. Troutman gets it across the timeline. Finds Osborne on the wing. They swing it around to Reeder. Team high, 12 points from Reeder. Now to Murdoch for 3. Out of bounds to Baldwin with 54 seconds to go. Joey Zimbecki comes back in for the Bulldogs. So let's see how the Bulldogs play this here. Down 2 with 54 seconds to go. How patient they are, whether they try to keep attacking here. Caleb with the ball. Into the corner, Grossner for the lead. Bingo! Baldwin back in front with 38 seconds to go in the third quarter. An 11-2 run over the final 2:40 of this third quarter. 30 seconds to play, and now it's Sanders at the top of the key. Out to Murdoch. Shot fake and drive. Reeder from the corner. Hands off to Troutman. He lost the handle. Baldwin off and running with 15 seconds left in the quarter. Caleb Carr, count it, and a 3-point opportunity as Baldwin extends their run and has taken a 41-38 lead with just 12 seconds to play in the quarter. What a finish to this third quarter. We've been talking about it all night long. When was Baldwin going to make that run? Our answer is here in the final 2:40 of this third quarter. From down 8 with 2:40 to go to now up 3 and a chance to make it a 4-point lead. Caleb Carr at the free throw line. 42-38 Bulldogs. Caleb will check out, so he does not pick up a silly fourth foul here, and Ryder Nye comes back in. Final 10 seconds of that third quarter. Troutman to Osborne, over to Murdoch. Back to Osborne with 3. Contested 3. No good, and we go to the fourth with Baldwin now leading by 4 thanks to a 14-2 run to close out the third quarter here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home is honored to be your choice when the difficult time comes to plan a lasting tribute for your loved ones. There to guide you through the process from beginning to end with each family's unique traditions and beliefs in mind. Visit lamb-roberts.com to see all of the services offered, including their online pre-planning tool, or call 785-594-3644 to visit with the caring professionals at Baldwin City's only locally owned funeral service and cremation service provider, Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home.
Dr. Philip Harvey at Oral Surgery Kansas is a proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Dr. Harvey and his staff wish all of the Bulldogs the best of luck this year as you continue to make Baldwin City proud. Oral Surgery Kansas provides personalized, gentle, comprehensive patient care for a wide range of oral surgery procedures. To learn more, visit oralsurgerykansas.com or call 785-843-5490. Oral Surgery Kansas, cheering on the Baldwin Bulldogs.
(42-38) Baldwin on top of Paola. Start of the fourth quarter. A big close to that third quarter for the Bulldogs. They were down 36-28 with 2.5 minutes to play in the quarter, but a 14-2 Baldwin run to close out the third has the Bulldogs on top by 4 to start this fourth quarter. Cooper and Caleb Carr, Grossner, Darnell, and Zimbecki for the Bulldogs. Murdoch, Troutman, Reeder, Richmond, and Taylor for the Panthers. Reeder has 12 to lead the way for Paola. Taylor has it now. 4 fouls in this game. He has been held to just 2 points, and he misses the layup there. Grossner the rebound. Both teams leading scorers on the year as Caleb Carr gets the finish on that transition run out. Both teams leading scorers were scoreless in the first half of this game. Taylor, 0 points for Paola. Caleb Carr, 0 points for Baldwin, but Caleb now up to 7 in this second half. Taylor still just 2 points. Both teams having to try to work through this one without the scoring exploits from their top guys. Baldwin now has seemed to settle back into things, with Carr being able to play pretty much that whole third quarter and did so without committing a foul. So now has a little bit more of a leash with the fourth quarter starting and just sitting on 3 fouls as opposed to Taylor, who has 4. 6-point Baldwin lead. It's their largest lead of the game on a 16-2 run. Murdoch gets one from the mid-range. 4-point game, 6.5 to go. Sam Darnell working that high post. He has led all scores tonight with 17. And he has kind of been their one steady source of offense tonight. Caleb Carr looking to pick things up here in the second half. Misses that 3 on an air ball. Back over it goes to Paola. Panthers down 4 with 6:18 to play. Caden Cohey checks in for the Panthers. On a night where Caleb's in a better rhythm, perhaps that's a shot that goes in for him, but he has had a tough time establishing a rhythm tonight with the sparse playing time for the first 2 quarters of this game. Cohey trying to get off that screen from Richmond, but Zimbecki a good job sticking with him on the defense. Now the screen does free him up. Pick and roll back to him, and he fumbled it away. Zimbecki on a steal. Baldwin coming the other way up by 4. Caleb Carr up top to Darnell. Out to Zimbecki, lets it fly for the wing, and Baldwin leads by 7. Second tray for Joey Zimbecki tonight. 5.5 to go. Baldwin up 47-40. Timeout Paola. The Bulldogs, their run has put them on top by 7, their largest lead of the game, with 5:31 to play here in the fourth on Baldwin Sports Live.
Trindle Lumber Company is the go-to stop for every do-it-yourselfer and professional contractor. They carry a wide variety of plumbing, electrical, and hardware products, along with a vast selection of windows, doors, and paint. Their full-service drive-through lumber yard has what you need for every project and offers free estimates and professional delivery. At Trindle Lumber Company, you get the right products with the best service. Stop by at 1516 South Main in Ottawa or call 785-242-8144.
Bulldog basketball presented by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the brand that sells the land. Learn more at HaydenOutdoors.com. Shad and Penny Sheldon, your local brokers and experts in the field of farm, ranch, recreational properties. They'll help you find your next dream property. Or if you're looking to list as well, contact Shad at HaydenOutdoors.com or Penny at HaydenOutdoors.com. Shoot him an email today. And as a foul on Caden Cohey, he picks up his 4th. 16 fouls now on Paola. So Baldwin will be in the bonus the rest of the way as they look to pick up a third come-from-behind victory this year, a second half come-from-behind victory. They've gone 2-2, trailing at the half of this season, which is a pretty good mark, really. Most teams down at the half don't have all that much success. The Bulldogs tonight down 7 at the break. We're down 10 right before the break. And now Talon Torres will head to the free throw line, as that is a foul called on Micah Sanders. I checked that. Jet Osborne gets called for that foul. But either way, it'll put Torres at the line. 1-and-1 opportunity. Talon has not scored tonight. An average of 7 points per game for the Bulldogs. High of 16 this year. And there is his first point tonight. And this won't be necessarily a game that statistically the Bulldogs will look back on with much fondness. Unless maybe you're Sam Darnell, who's put up 17 points tonight. But bottom line is, can you find a way to win games, especially on the road, and especially when things just aren't going that well for you, and you have your leading guard with a foul trouble night where he spends the majority of the first half of the bench, and you just have lots of things that aren't going well for you. To be able to pull off a win on a night like that and do it especially on the road, there's a lot to say for that. As Grossner able to score in transition, the Bulldogs have now pushed the lead up to double digits, 51-40. 4.5 minutes to go. Osborne out of the corner. And right now, things starting to cinch up a little bit on Paola. Taylor able to chase that ball down, nearly forced the turnover, but Baldwin able to keep it. And now they're going to get patient on offense with an 11-point lead, 4 minutes to go. And just trying to wring the last bit out of this game and pick up another win. Grossner pulls it back away. And Donnie Blanchett wants a timeout. Gather the troops, make sure everybody's on the same page here to close out this final 4 minutes. 51-40 Baldwin on top with 3:56 to go. And a reminder, coming up on Friday night, the Bulldogs back in action and back on the road. They travel to Hoyt, Kansas to take on Royal Valley. We'll have the games for you, both boys and girls, right here on Baldwin Sports Live. Regular times for all these games for you. 6 o'clock girls, 7:30 or so for the boys. 3 road games coming up in the next 3. At Royal Valley, at Ottawa, at Jefferson West. The only other game that you don't see on that upcoming broadcast schedule is the final game of the regular season on Friday the 24th at home against Bonner Springs. So 4 more games to go after tonight. The Baldwin girls earlier tonight picking up their 10th win of the year, improving to 10-6 with a victory 18-point victory, 62-44 over Paola. The boys looking for win number 13 here tonight. Trying to improve to 13-3. Trailed the majority of this ball game, but took the lead here in this second half, thanks to a 14-2 run to close out the third quarter. They've extended that here in the fourth quarter, and they add 3 more to the lead on that tray by Talon Torres. 54-40, a 10-0 Baldwin run. Cohee drives and finishes. First basket for the sophomore Caden Cohee, ending a 10-0 Baldwin run, but they're going to need a lot more over this final 3+ minutes, down by a dozen. Baldwin, after scoring just 19 first half points, and really started to get it going here in this second half. 35 points now in the second half. And another Baldwin timeout. We'll break with them here as the Bulldogs lead it 54-42. We're back in a moment with 3:03 to go in the fourth on Baldwin Sports Live.
Kelly Neufeld and his team at Farm Bureau Financial Services are there to help you protect what matters most in your life. From insurance plans customized to fit everything you need covered, to comprehensive financial planning to help you achieve your goals both present and future. Kelly works uniquely with you face-to-face to gain confidence in your financial well-being. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting with Kelly Neufeld at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Baldwin City. It's your future. Let's protect it.
54-42 Baldwin lead on top of the Paola Panthers here on the road. We're down 7 at the half, trailed by as many as 8 in that second half, or in the third quarter, but have taken the lead and have continued to build that lead. Now up by a dozen. 14 has been their largest lead of this second half. That came just moments ago here in this fourth quarter, but right now up a dozen with 3:03 left to kill. Caleb Carr sat most of the first half with foul trouble. He has played the majority of this second half, and it's no coincidence that that's made a big difference for Baldwin. A foul on the catch, so no shot there for Darnell. He will go to the line. That's 18 fouls, so 1-1 for Sam coming up, who has had a big night. And on a night when some of the regular offensive stars have been relatively quiet for the Bulldogs, they needed a guy like Darnell to come up with one of his best scoring nights of the year. 17 points in this game. It's his second highest scoring game of the year, matching the 17 he had against Bishop Seabury. His season high and career high is 20. That came back at the Anderson County game. And he may not get to that number tonight, but he has been huge on the offensive end for the Bulldogs tonight. Reeder scoops it up and in. And likewise for Paola, it has been Reeder who's led the way for them. 14 now from Patrick Reeder. 10-point game underneath Darnell, and there's his 19th point of the game. 2:26 to go. And Darnell called for the foul. That's number 4. It's number 6 on the Bulldogs as a team here in this second half. Taylor missing the first of 2 free throws here. Tough night from Landon Taylor. He, like Carr, has had to battle foul trouble tonight. And just 2 points for Landon Taylor in this game. The Panthers' leading scorer on the year had 12 against the Baldwin Bulldogs in their first matchup to go along with 9 rebounds as well. But misses a pair of free throws here. Cannot cut into a 12-point Baldwin lead. Carr. Up high to Cooper Carr, who's had a nice night with 9 points and 7 rebounds, go along with 3 assists as well. Good ball movement by the Bulldogs. Sets up Zembecki for a wide open 3. Loose ball scooped up by J.J. Crawford, then he throws it away. Caleb bounced to Darnell, and it's a career high 21 points from Sam Darnell tonight. On the 5th assist by Caleb Carr, who didn't have an assist in the first half of this game, but has come up big in the second half. Grosner the rebound, And the Bulldogs up by 14 with a minute and a half to go. A foul on Paola will put Caleb back at the line for the Bulldogs. Trying to put finishing touches on this game tonight. Taylor fouls out of the game with that fifth foul there. So here's Caleb Carr at the line. 7 points, 5 assists tonight. It's a cliff note on what will otherwise be a successful night in the end, it looks like, for Baldwin. But Carr 3 points shy of double digits tonight, and he has scored double digits every game this season. Missed 3, offensive rebound. Troutman and a putback. Timeout Paola with 1:15 to go. Down by a dozen. Not ready to throw in the towel yet, and they will see if they can have one final push in them. Baldwin 58, Paola 46. You're watching Bulldog basketball presented by Hayden Outdoors on Baldwin Sports Live.
Baldwin State Bank, we love being part of the community we serve. Our roots run deep in Baldwin City, and our commitment runs deeper. Whether it's that dream house you can't wait to call home, or the trust of your personal finances, both present and future, we're here to serve you, our customers, our neighbors. Baldwin State Bank, proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs for more than 100 years and counting. Come see us downtown or online at baldwinstatebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Baldwin on top by 12. A minute and change to play in this fourth quarter. Baldwin 12-3 coming in. Paola 2-12. It looked like a mismatch on paper, but give credit to Paola. They have made Baldwin earn this one tonight. Home run ball into the front court. Zimbecki missed the layup, but it's followed up by Cooper Carr. Cooper with a career-high 8 rebounds in this game tonight to go along now with 11 points. Nearing a double-double for the freshman, which would be a first. That's Caleb Carr with a rebound. I believe that's his first rebound of the game tonight. He averages over 5 per night, but again has not played the same minutes tonight as normal because of foul trouble. But has played the entire second half pretty much, and it has made a world of difference for the Bulldogs, who trailed by 7 at halftime and have taken over here in the second half. A 14-2 run over the final 2:40 of the third quarter. The big difference maker tonight. Baldwin was still down 8 with 2.5 minutes to play in the third. And they went on a 14-2 run, take the lead, and they have not looked back. They extended that 14-2 run into what ultimately ended up being a 26-4 run over the end of the third and start of the fourth quarter. And they will dribble out the final few seconds of this one. And Baldwin survives on the road to improve to 13-3, 60-46 the final. Baldwin over Paola. We'll wrap it up for you on the postgame show, including our Farm Bureau Financial Services player of the game right after this.
State Farm Insurance Agent Cody Anno is ready to be there for you every step of the way. From starting policies out to the day disaster strikes, Cody and his team are ready to help. Cody strives to be different, doing things the other people don't and other agencies won't, helping more people in more ways. That's Cody Anno State Farm. Call 785-594-0270 or stop by at 208 Baker Street for a cup of coffee and a free quote for your auto, home, or life insurance with Cody Anno, your local State Farm insurance agent in Baldwin City.
Trindle Lumber Company is the go-to stop for every do-it-yourselfer and professional contractor. They carry a wide variety of plumbing, electrical, and hardware products, along with a vast selection of windows, doors, and paint. Their full-service drive-through lumber yard has what you need for every project and offers free estimates and professional delivery. At Trindle Lumber Company, you get the right products with the best service. Stop by at 1516 South Main in Ottawa or call 785-242-8144.
Back in Paola tonight to put the finishing touches on a 60-46 Baldwin victory over the Paola Panthers. Paola drops to 2-13. Baldwin improves to 13-3. We're down 7 at the half, but they come back to win this one, outscoring Paola 32-10 over the final 10 and a half minutes of this game, including a 26-4 run in there. And the Bulldogs using that to overcome the deficit and win this ball game. Trailed by as many as 10, they end up winning it by 14. It's time to name tonight's Farm Bureau Financial Services Player of the Game, and that honor tonight goes to a gentleman who set a new career high, 21 points from Sam Darnell. It's a career best for Sammy to go along with 4 rebounds and 3 assists. He's tonight's Farm Bureau Financial Services Player of the Game on a night when offense was somewhat tough to come by for the Bulldogs. The one steady source they had was Sam Darnell, who ends up with 21 points in this game, with 15 of his 21 coming in the second half. A new career high for Darnell and a 13th victory for the Bulldogs. Player of the Game brought to you by Farm Bureau. From insurance to investments, wealth management, and financial planning, Farm Bureau is there to help you protect what matters most. Call today to set up a meeting with your local Farm Bureau Financial Services team at 785-594-1055. We'll check the final numbers with New Frontier Tax and Business Services right after this.
For unbeatable service from a company you can trust, there's only one choice. Clint Davis and the One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning team have the expertise you need when it comes to the comfort of your family. Not only will they get the job done right, but they'll explain the preventative maintenance needed to avoid those costly emergency repairs. To schedule a free quote, call 785-393-9329 and join the Preferred Maintenance Club for special discounts. One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning, the one and only choice for the comfort of your family.
Up your lawn care game at Hers Inc. in Spring Hill. We have one of the area's largest and most diverse selections of lawnmowers, including top brands like Altos, Bobcat, Gravely, Dixie Chopper, and Red Max. Quality built machines for any size job. And when you get your mower at Hers, we offer full service and repairs covered by your warranty. From the backyard to the back 40, the all-star lineup of mowers at Hers will make you the captain of the lawn. See the full lineup at hersinc.net. Call 913-247-3530 or just stop on by.
Back to wrap things up for you here from Paola tonight. 60-46 winners tonight are the Baldwin Bulldogs as they defeat the Paola Panthers, improving to 13-3 on the season. Let's check the numbers, brought to you by New Frontier Tax and Business Services. They'll help you confidently tackle tax season, even the highly specific situations. They'll help make sense of it all and meet your critical business needs with minimal investment, timely, accurate, and reliable services at an affordable cost. That's New Frontier Tax and Business Services, online at newfrontiertbs.com. Paola gets 14 points from Patrick Reeder and 10 from J.D. Troutman to help lead the way for the Panthers, but only 2 points tonight from their leading scorer, Landon Taylor, who battled foul trouble before eventually fouling out of this game. Rough night for him, and that is a big reason why, even though Paola had the lead early in this game, had the lead through really the majority as far as total minutes of this game, but never could get Taylor going, never could get him out of the foul troubles, and that was a big detriment to the Panthers' chance to pull the upset tonight. Caden Cohey, 2 points. Cale Murdoch, 8. Jet Osborne with 5. Micah Sanders and Eli Richmond each with 2. Osborne's 5 rebounds led the way. Taylor second behind him with 4. Overall, they turned it over 13 times and shot just 2 of 9 at the free throw line. They didn't knock down the threes at a better clip this time around than the first time they played the Bulldogs, as the Panthers make 6 threes in this game. But Baldwin on the other side was able to counteract that with 5 of their own, and they did not too much better at the line, just 6 out of 14, but they didn't turn it over much. 8 turnovers for the Bulldogs, didn't turn it over at all in the second half of this game when Caleb Carr was able to get on the floor after missing pretty much the entire first half with foul troubles. Caleb ends up with 7 points, 5 assists tonight, and all of that came in the second half. Cooper Carr, 11 points, a career-high 8 rebounds, along with 3 assists as well. Joey Zembecki with 6 points. Talon Torres added 5. Riker Grossner with 4. And Brayton Statham with 3. But leading the charge was Sam Darnell with a career-high 21 points tonight, along with 4 boards, 3 assists. He had 21 overall with 15 of his game high and career high coming in that second half. Baldwin wins it to improve to 13-3, and they will be back on the road Friday night to take on 9-6 Royal Valley. You can catch it all right here on Baldwin Sports Live. Both boys and girls winners tonight for the Bulldogs. Girls win by 18, boys win by 14. We'll follow them to Hoyt to take on Royal Valley coming up on Friday night. You can tune in to follow them as well. You've been watching Bulldog basketball presented by Hayden Outdoors, the brand that sells the land. Bulldogs winners tonight in Paola.
Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the brand that sells the land. Learn more at HaydenOutdoors.com. Baldwin Sports Live also brought to you by Farm Bureau Financial Services, Kelly Neufeld, Baldwin State Bank, Codiano State Farm Insurance, Heartland Plumbing, Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home, One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning, Trindle Lumber Company, Oral Surgery Kansas, Hers Incorporated, Rice Precision Manufacturing, The Bullpen, Baldwin City Recreation Commission, New Frontier Tax and Business Services, the Lumberyard Arts Center, Jobats, Baldwin City Community Newspaper, and by the Baldwin City Chamber of Commerce. This is Baldwin Sports Live.